All right, thanks so much, Terry. It's a beautiful evening for baseball at Pac Bell Park. It is a little bit overcast, but the temperature not bad, upper 50s. It has been not nearly as bad as it could have been for these 3 games here in San Francisco. And looking out at McCovey Cove, there's a guy way up there on the mast of his boat out there. He must be about 200 yards maybe beyond the right field foul pole, and he's just perched up there, sitting in some kind of a little seat, hanging onto that mast as the boat sways back and forth, and he's going to watch the game from right there. Kind of like the tree people at the Greek Theater, maybe, although he's a lot further away. All right, we go into the top of the first inning. David Eckstein, Darren Erstad, and Tim Salmon for an Angel team that is looking to be aggressive against a fastball pitcher, Jason Schmidt. Schmidt, 29 years old, from Lewiston, Idaho. 13-8 this year with a 3.45 earned run average. He is 6'5". And David Eckstein set to lead things off for the Angels. Eckstein 6 for 18, 333 in the series. Schmidt winds, and here's the first pitch of the ball game. It's taken for a strike. 96 miles an hour on the inside corner, and it's 0-1.
In last night's ball game, the Angels losing the top third of the order, went 1 for 11. That was the key for San Francisco.
The 0-1 pitch to Eckstein is up under his chin. 1 ball and 1 strike. Eckstein is hitting .298 in the postseason for the Angels. Outfield somewhat shallow and straight away for Eckstein. Jason Schmidt winds. He comes back 1-1, and it's swung on and missed. Strike 2. In game 1, Schmidt and Washburn both went 5 2/3 innings. Schmidt won it, Washburn lost it. The Angels were defeated 4-3. Here's the 1-2 pitch to David Eckstein. Fouled away, back to the screen. Count remains 1-2. That was 97 miles an hour. Schmidt, obviously a hard thrower. This year, the first time he's ever been in postseason, they got him from the Pittsburgh Pirates. 13-8 this year, matching the highest number of wins he's ever had in the big leagues. The second time he's had 13. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Line drive, that's into center field, and a base hit for Eckstein. He starts the game with a solid single into center. Kenny Lofton plays it back in. And Eckstein is 1 for 1. Good way for the Angels to start the game against a pitcher who figures to be tough tonight.
Nice job at 2-strike hitting there by Eckstein, who had a hit against Schmidt in the opening game of the World Series. He was 1 for 3 against them in game 1.
Mike Riley's the home plate umpire. The scouting report they put up on him on the network television broadcast said pitchers umpire mostly, and then under that it said inconsistent at times. I'm sure he'll be happy to know that. Darren Erstad at the plate. Schmidt throws to first. Eckstein dives back in. Erstad is 6 for 20, 300 in the series. The Giants have Snow at first, Kent at second, Aurelia at shortstop, Bell at third. Outfield left to right, Bonds, Lofton, and Sanders. Benito Santiago doing the catching. Here's the pitch to Erstad. A check swing pop fly foul, goes back and hits the roof of the Giant dugout. No balls, 1 strike to Darren Erstad. Tim Salmon on deck. Eckstein with a leadoff single here tonight. JT Snow holding him on. Reggie Sanders playing Erstad way off the line in right field. If Darren were to hit one right down the line, Sanders would have a ways to go to get it. There's a throw to first base by Schmidt. Just the beginning of the ball game, as you can hear, a loud crowd here at Pac Bell Park tonight. And yes, they did hand out thunder sticks again tonight, but they don't have the constant din that they have in Anaheim. Here's the stretch by Schmidt, the 0-1 pitch. Erstad grounds it to second. Kent has the 2-hopper. They get 1. Back to first, too late. Eckstein erased at second base. The play goes 4-6. Erstad reaches on a fielder's choice. And with 1 out, that'll bring up Tim Salmon. The ball not hit hard enough by Erstad for the Giants to turn 2. Salmon at the plate, 6 for 16. 375 in the series. Now Erstad being held on by Snow, and Salmon steps in there. They play him a little bit deeper, obviously. Salmon is hitting .286 in the 13 postseason games the Angels have played. He's driven in 12 runs in those 13 games and has 4 home runs. Schmidt's pitch, Salmon takes, and it's a strike. 0-1. One out, one on. Erstad at first base. No balls, 1 strike to Tim Salmon. Here's the stretch by Schmidt. And the 0-1 pitch on the way. He chases a high fastball and missed it. Strike 2. 0-2.
That pitch there, 97 miles per hour. Scouting report on Schmidt, you can run on him. In his start in Game 1 of the World Series, the Angels had 1 stolen base against him. It was by Brad Fulmer, who's not in the lineup tonight with the pitchers hitting.
Salmon went after a bad pitch right there. The count is 0-2 to Tim. Schmidt checks Erstad. The pitch to Salmon, fastball foul to the screen. Schmidt throwing hard here in the first inning. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Tim Salmon 6 for 16 in the series. He's walked 3 times. He has scored 5 runs for the Angels. He's hit a couple of home runs. Big ball game tonight, Game 5 of the World Series here at Pac Bell Park. Game 6 will be Saturday at Edison Field, 5 o'clock. Here's the 0-2 to Salmon. Fastball misses high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Garrett Anderson waiting on deck for the Angels. Standing room fans are out in right field. They sell standing room only tickets out there. And there's also an area where if you're walking around behind the stadium, you can stop for a few minutes and peek in the fence. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to Salmon. It's in the dirt, a breaking ball, and it's 2-2. Schmidt throws that hard slider, though, about 89 miles an hour. His fastball has some movement, too. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Tim. 1 out, 1 on. Angels batting top of the first inning, just underway at beautiful Pac Bell Park. Salmon waits at the plate. The stretch by Schmidt. He throws to first. Erstad dives back in there. Alfredo Griffin, the Angels' first base coach. Ron Renicky coaching at third for Anaheim. 2-2 to Tim Salmon. Jason Schmidt, right foot on the rubber as he stares in at his catcher Benito Santiago. Here's the stretch now. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's popped up foul behind home plate, back up into the seats.
Salmon is having a good at bat. He's making Schmidt throw pitches. Tim hanging in there with 2 strikes, fouling pitches off.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Salmon. He is having a good at bat. They're making Schmidt work in this first inning. He's thrown 13 pitches, though, and 10 have been strikes. So he's right around the plate. Still 2-2 to Salmon. Erstad away from first. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. A breaking ball strikes out Salmon. With 2 outs, we'll pause for our stations to identify themselves. This is the Anaheim Angels Baseball Network.
You're listening to the Anaheim Angels on Talk Radio AM570 KLAC Los Angeles. Home of Susie Orman, weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m.
Rory Markus and Terry Smith, along with our producer-engineer Darren Chan. The Angels batting in the first inning. They have 2 out, 1 on. Garrett Anderson at the plate. Schmidt's first pitch to him. Garrett takes a fastball outside for ball 1. Jared Washburn pitching for the Angels tonight. Jared was the Game 1 losing pitcher. Garrett Anderson, in 13 games in the postseason, is hitting .316 as a toss over to first base by Schmidt.
Garrett in the World Series has had 6 hits, but they've all been singles. And of course, as everybody knows, he's a guy that had a ton of extra base hits during the regular season.
Tied for the league lead in doubles. Garrett takes a fastball up high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Gloss would be next. So Schmidt falls behind the left-handed hitting Anderson. 2 balls, no strikes. Jason Schmidt, an 8-year Major League veteran. Over his last 46 starts, he's gone 23-12 heading into the postseason. Anderson wraps one into left center field. That's in for a hit. Lofton gets it on one hop. Erstad has to hold at second base. So Garrett Anderson has another hit, albeit a single. And the Angels have runners at first and second, 2 on with 2 out. And Troy Gloss coming up. If nothing else, the Angels are showing here in the first inning that Schmidt is not going to be untouchable tonight. They already have a couple of hits, and they're making him work fairly hard. Santiago goes out to talk to him.
Oh, not a surprise to see that going on, because Gloss, who will bat for the first time tonight, had 2 home runs against Schmidt when he faced the Angels in the opening game of the World Series last Saturday. So they want to talk over how they're going to pitch to Troy, especially with some people on base.
Troy Gloss in this World Series is 7 for 17. That's .412. Overall, he's hitting .346 in postseason play for the Angels. So Troy has brought his bat with him to the playoffs and World Series. The stretch by Schmidt and the pitch to Gloss. Fastball caught the outside corner, 0-1. 2 on, 2 out for the Angels. Erstad at second, Anderson at first. And Jason Schmidt looking in at Santiago. Gloss trying to get the Angels off on a good foot. He hit a 2-run home run in last night's ball game that gave the Angels a 3-0 lead, but they were unable to hold it. And they didn't score any more after that. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Troy swings and misses. 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 0-2. Now the crowd cheering, trying to get that final strike of this first inning. Gloss was behind that last fastball. No balls, 2 strikes to Troy. 2 out, 2 on. Top of the first inning. Schmidt checks the runners, and here he comes 0-2. Whoa, he knocked him down. A fastball up around the eyes, and Gloss hit the deck. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Boy, that thing was coming right at Troy's face at about 95 miles an hour.
That was a purpose pitch right there. Schmidt had a pitch to waste with the count at the time. No balls and 2 strikes. And he just wanted Gloss to know that he's out there on the mound.
Now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. The best way to answer that is with a hit. Schmidt backed off the rubber. He wants Santiago to go through the signs again. So Benito does. Gloss waits. Here's the stretch by Schmidt. And the 1-2 on the way. Popped up foul back behind the plate and out of play. Still a ball and 2 strikes.
Well, Schmidt's been relying on that fastball quite a bit here in the first inning. He's now thrown 21 pitches. He's mixed in his slider a few times here in the first inning. He got Salmon on a slider for the strikeout for out number 2.
He's ahead of Gloss. 1-2. 2 on, 2 out. Top of the first, no score. Here's the 1-2 to Troy. Fastball low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. If Gloss keeps eating alive, Scott Spezia would be next. We had Ed Spezio on our pregame show tonight, who was in 3 World Series with the Cardinals and is so proud of his son, as you can well imagine. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Troy Gloss. The stretch by Schmidt. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. He got him with a high fastball. Schmidt strikes out 2 in the inning. The Angels get no runs on 2 hits. To the bottom of the first inning we go. No score as the Giants come to bat. Kenny Lofton, Rich Aurelia, and Jeff Kent facing Jared Washburn. The Angels left 2 men on base in the first inning. Washburn, the Game 1 losing pitcher, trying to reverse that here tonight in Game 5. An 18-game winner in the regular season. Postseason, he's 1-1 in 4 starts. Lofton's 4 for 16, 250. Washburn's first pitch is low and outside, ball 1. The Angels have Spezio at first, Kennedy at second, Eckstein at shortstop, Gloss at third, Anderson in left, Erstad in center, Salmon in right. And the pitch to Lofton is up and in for ball 2. Benji Molina doing the catching. Kenny Lofton, 281 in the postseason in 14 games for the Giants. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's ripped down the right field line, but foul. A little bit too far out in front of it, and the young man that had his glove on it dropped it. So the count 2-1 to Lofton. The top of the order came up big for the Giants last night. Here's the pitch to Kenny. Line drive. That's a base hit into left field. Well, the Angels' Eckstein started the top of the first with a single, and now Kenny Lofton starts the bottom of the first with a single. That'll bring up Rich Aurelia. 3-year-old Darren Baker runs out. Oh, he just fell down. He's the bat boy. He ran out there and got that bat, which is about the same height as he is. And on his way back to the dugout, he fell down. Dusty's son. Rich Aurelia at the plate now. That gave Dusty a big smile. Rich Aurelia 6 for 18 in the series. Washburn checks Lofton at first. Spezio playing in front of him. Aurelia showed the bunt but takes it down low, ball 1.
In Game 1 of the World Series, even though Washburn was the losing pitcher, he did a good job against the top of the order. Lofton, Aurelia, and Kent combined went 0 for 8 against them. But as you were mentioning, Rory, last night the top of that order started to heat up for the Giants. Lofton had 3 hits, and so did Rich Aurelia.
Aurelia waiting. Washburn delivers, and it's hit in the air into right center field. Erstad has the long run. Still going. He catches up to it and makes the catch. Lofton's a long way from first base. The throw by Erstad behind him. He gets back safely. Lofton had already rounded second, but he's able to get back as Erstad had a long way to go to get to that ball. That's the first out.
Well, out there in right center field, it goes all the way out to 421. That's the deepest part of the ballpark. And Erstad, who got a track on that one, made that catch a few feet from the warning track out there in deep right center.
It took him a few steps to be able to set up to throw to first base, and Lofton was able to beat it back in there with a slide. Here's Jeff Kent. Let's keep an eye on the miles per hour over there on the scoreboard, Terry. It doesn't look to me like Washburn is throwing very hard. Not as hard as we're accustomed to seeing. Kent at the plate now for the Giants. Washburn delivers, and the fastball
89.
Yeah, it's in there for a strike, but he's usually 91, 92 at least. No balls in the strike to Jeff Kent. Lofton at first, 1 out in the bottom of the first, no score in the ball game. Washburn looks at first base. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and that one's a strike on the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. Bonds, of course, on deck. The Angels intentionally walked Bonds 3 times last night. Pitched to him once, and he grounded out. 0-2, Washburn ahead of Kent. Jared looks at first. And the 0-2 pitch. He tried to muscle up on that when he threw that one 90, and it was outside and high. You could hear him grunt from way up here, and we're a ways away from the mound.
Kent has had a pretty tough World Series, only 3 hits and 16 times up. One of those hits a home run. And in game 1 of the World Series against Washburn, he was 0 for 3.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Jeff Kent. Washburn looks over at first base. Here's the 1-2. Off speed, outside and low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So no matter what happens here tonight, Terry, this is the last road game of the year.
Yeah, it is, and here in San Francisco, a lot of people are talking about it could be Dusty Baker's last game managing the Giants at this stadium. He's unsigned for next year. All sorts of talk about where he will be next year as a manager. 2
balls, 2 strikes. Kent waits. Washburn ready. He delivers, and it's low and outside. Ball 3. Full count, 3-2. He was 0-2, and now he's 3-2. So they'll probably run Lofton right here. Jared Washburn, left foot on the rubber as he stares in at Molina. Angels looking for 2 in the middle. Lofton gets his lead from first base. He does not go, and it's ball 4 anyway. The ball skips away from Molina, but it was ball 4, so Lofton's at second. And here you go again. The Angels walked him in this situation yesterday. First and second, 1 out. Barry Bonds at the plate.
In game 1 of the World Series, Bonds homered off of Jared Washburn. He was 1 for 3 against him.
That was not a good at-bat for Jared Washburn as far as Kent's concerned. He had him 0-2, and then he missed pretty badly with 4 straight. And right now, it looks like they're going to pitch to him. First and second, 1 out. Bonds at the plate. 3 infielders on the right side with Eckstein playing up the middle. Washburn sets the pitch to Bonds. Curveball high. Ball 1. Did he call that a strike? Wow, I guess he did. Mike Rowley did call that a strike. No wonder Bonds is upset. That thing was up around his shoulders. Barry just rolled his eyes and looked toward the heavens. 0-1. 1 out, 2 men on. No score in the bottom of the first. Washburn ready in the 0-1 pitch. There's a curveball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jared doesn't seem anxious to throw him a fastball. I don't know if Jared feels loose, Terry. To me, something just doesn't look right with him in the first inning.
Well, you look at his total innings now, including the playoffs. He's thrown 230 innings this year. Way more than he's ever had in a season.
The 1-1 pitch is outside, ball 2. I don't think he's anxious to throw Barry a fastball for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count. Runners at first and second, 1 out in the first inning, no score, but the Giants threatening. Benito Santiago on deck. Washburn again backs off the rubber. He's looking in for his sign from Molina. The stretch by Jarrett, and the 2-1 changeup is ripped down the right field line. It's in there for extra bases. Lofton scores. There goes Kent to third. 1-0 Giants.
Oh, that situation there, the Angels elected to pitch to Bonds, and he didn't hit 1 out, but he drove a run in, and 2 more are in scoring position.
He hit a bullet right down the first base line. The Giants jump on Washburn early, and they have a chance to get more. Second and third with 1 out. Benito Santiago now the batter.
Think about it, Rory. Even when you pitch to him, it's like you're pitching defensively to him. You're just hoping he doesn't hit a home run against you even when you pitch to him.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see why they pitched to him. Yesterday in the same situation, they walked him twice and got double plays twice. The pitch to Santiago is hit in the air into left field. Tagging up at third base will be Kent. Anderson makes the catch. His throw comes in too late. It's 2-0 Giants. A sacrifice fly for Santiago. Bonds is still at second with 2 out now. And here's Reggie Sanders. Reggie Sanders, the right fielder. 5 for 15 in the series. That's .333. Bonds, the runner at second base with 2 outs. They're trying to get somebody's attention out here. It was Sosha calling timeout. All the umpires now saw him. They called timeout, and I think they want to intentionally walk him. That's what they want to do. So they did not walk Bonds. They will walk Sanders. That'll put runners at first and second. JT Snow will be the batter. Left-hander against left-hander right here. There's ball 2 delivered by Washburn. Sanders not hitting tremendously in the postseason, 204, but .333 in the series. And now JT Snow will step in to face Washburn. The Giants have 2, trying to get more. Barry Bonds at second. Reggie Sanders at first. JT Snow up there for San Francisco.
Snow had a big home run for the Giants against Washburn in Game 1 of the World Series. Turned out to be the game-winning hit.
Snow hitting .296 in 14 postseason games for the Giants, 5 for 15 in the series. Washburn checks the runners. The pitch to Snow, fastball, caught the inside corner, 0-1. That one was 88. 0-1 to Snow. Washburn staring in. Now he goes into his stretch. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball missed outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Oh, and Jared's start against them in the first game of the World Series, he gave up 4 runs, and all 4 of the Giants' runs came via the home run ball. They haven't homered against them here in the first inning tonight, but they've scored 2, so they're kind of taking a page out of the Angels' book, the way they've been able to produce.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's up and in for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to JT Snow.
Giants batters are laying up that high fastball. They're forcing Washburn to throw strikes, and when he's had to come in with pitches, then they've been able to make some good contact.
2 out, 2 on, 2 runs in for the Giants in the bottom of the first. Tough inning for the Angels. Washburn's 2-1. Outside, ball 3. On deck is Bell, who got the game-winning hit in the 8th inning last night.
Jared has thrown 25 pitches, 16 balls, 9 strikes. Those numbers skewed a little bit because he did throw the intentional walk to Sanders.
It's 3-1 to JT. Washburn checks the runners. Here he comes, 3-1, and it's ball 4. Washburn's having a very tough inning. That's the 3rd walk in the inning, although 1 was intentional. The bases are loaded for the Giants with 2 outs, and they have a chance to break it wide open right here. And Bud Black has gone out to talk to Washburn. David Bell with the game-winning base hit off of Frankie Rodriguez in the 8th inning last night. That drove in Snow. to give the Giants the 4-3 win. KLAC talking to Washburn and Eckstein and Molina. They're all on the mound right now.
I think Bud Black might have been a little bit upset, thinking that Washburn was nibbling too much and not really attacking the batters. When he's been successful this year, he's really gone after the hitters, and he just seems a little bit tentative out there tonight. Maybe he's not trusting his stuff.
David Bell stands in for San Francisco. Bases full, 2 out. The pitch to him way up high. Washburn is having a very tough first inning. He's not making very good pitches.
That pitch looked like it had a little extra giddy up to it, but it clocked in at just 87 miles per hour.
No, he's not throwing very hard. I don't know if his arm is tired or he didn't warm up properly, but he's having a bad inning. Here's the 1-0. That's way outside, ball 2. This is not the Jared Washburn we've seen. I think you could see it from the first at bat. And it's just manifesting itself right here. He'll be lucky if he gets out of this with only 2 runs. 2 balls and no strikes to David Bell. The pitcher, Jason Schmidt, is on deck. Washburn's 2-0 pitch, way down low, ball 3. He's thrown 29 pitches, only 9 strikes.
Well, if you had a base open, of course you could put Bell on to pitch to Schmidt. The problem is there's someone on every base right now, so if you put him on, it means another run.
And there's no guarantees you'll throw strikes to Schmidt. Here's the 3-0 pitch. A strike. Nobody is loosening up in the Angel bullpen. It's 2-0 Giants. Jared Washburn trying to keep it from being any worse. 3 balls, 1 strike to David Bell. Bonds down the line at third. Washburn's 3-1 pitch. He walked in a run. That's 3 consecutive walks, 4 in the inning, and the Giants have a 3-0 first inning lead. Give David Bell an RBI. Jason Schmidt, the Giants pitcher, is at the plate.
He's really not a good hitter. He batted just .125 during the regular season, 7 hits and 56 times up. He struck out half the times he stepped up to the plate.
The pitch to him, a strike, 0-1. 3-0 Giants in the first inning. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Washburn is set. Here's the 0-1 to Schmidt. He takes again, and it's strike 2 called. Jared's just throwing it right down the middle to Schmidt. They pitched to Bonds here in the inning, and he doubled down the line. No balls, 2 strikes. Washburn ready. Here he comes 0-2, and he struck him out. But the Giants bat around. They get 3 runs on 2 hits and 4 walks. They leave 3, and at the end of 1, the Giants 3, the Angels nothing on the Anaheim Angels Baseball Network. Schmidt had 2 strikeouts in the first. He winds. His pitch to Spezio is fouled back out of play, 0-1. Spezio, then Kennedy and Molina, and then Jared Washburn.
Well, Schmidt now with a 3-run lead here after just 1 inning. He can just rear back and fire. Let his fielders do the job behind him.
0-1 the count to Spezio. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That one's fouled back as well, and it's strike 2. Rock and fire, as they always used to say. I had a coach in Little League that would say that, about every 3 or 4 seconds, like it was on a loop.
Yep.
Rock and fire, rock and fire. 0-2 to Spezio. Into his windup goes Schmidt. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. So the bottom dropped out of that one. Spezio's out on strikes. 3 strikeouts for Schmidt.
It's a good slider. It's the same pitch that he got Tim Salmon on back in the first inning.
As Adam Kennedy steps in, we'll pause 10 seconds for our stations to identify themselves. This is the Anaheim Angels Baseball Network.
The Anaheim Angels on Talk Radio AM570 KLAC Los Angeles. Home of Dr. Dean Adele, weekdays from 3 to 4 p.m.
Schmidt delivers to Kennedy, and the fastball is up and in on him, ball 1. Schmidt throwing hard, 96 miles an hour on that one. Most of Washburn's fastballs were under 90. He did throw one 91. Here's the 1-0 to Adam. He takes and it's a strike. Kennedy 5 for 14, 357.
Talking about the fastballs, most of Schmidt's have been in the 96, 97 range, and he is throwing strikes.
Yeah, he throws hard. The 1-1 pitch to Kennedy is grounded toward first base. Snow has it easily. 2 outs. He goes to the bag himself. The game has surely started on an ominous note for the Angels tonight. Benji Molina, the catcher, up there now. Benji, the number 8 hitter tonight, so Washburn's in the on-deck circle. Benji's 3 for 12 in the World Series. Into his windup, Schmidt. The pitch to Molina. That's fouled straight back out of play. The count 0-1. The Giants got 3 runs on only 2 hits in the first inning. Washburn walked 4. One of them was intentional, and no, it was not Bonds. The Angels pitched to Bonds, and he doubled in a run. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Molina. Fastball misses high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Saturday, Game 6 at Edison Field in Anaheim. Kevin Apier and Russ Ortiz. 5 o'clock start. No matter who wins here tonight. The 1-1 to Molina. Good breaking ball in and over, strike 2. Schmidt has good stuff tonight.
Yeah, he is really throwing strikes in this ball game.
1-2 the count. The pitch to Molina. Fastball around his eyes. Strikes him out. He tried to hold up and could not. Schmidt has 4 strikeouts in the first 6 outs. The Angels go down in order in the second. Lofton started things with a single, and here he is again. Washburn's pitch to him is hit in the air down the left field line. Anderson racing over, Eckstein coming out, and Eckstein drops it. Eckstein tried to backhand that catch. Garrett never caught up to it. And Washburn, who badly needs an out, misses getting one there. See if David, no, I don't think he slipped over the mound. He just had that ball hit him in the heel of the glove and come out of there.
That was a little bit dangerous as well because his momentum.
Lofton takes a breaking ball for a strike, 0-2.
Eckstein landed on top of the tarp down that left side in foul territory.
No balls, 2 strikes. Lofton calls time and backs out of there. No error is called on the play. Eckstein had a long way to go to get to it. There's a line drive, base hit into center field. The Giants are all over Washburn tonight.
Well, he's having problems finishing off hitters. He just can't get strike 3 against them.
Well, he's throwing an 88-mile-an-hour fastball right over the plate. We've seen Washburn enough times this year to know when he is working well, that's not how he pitches. Rich Aurelia at the plate. Lofton at first, nobody out with his second straight leadoff hit. That's 3 hits for the Giants tonight to go along with 4 walks in the first inning.
Yeah, they've had 10 batters step up, and 7 of the 10 have reached base safely.
And Aurelia almost had one in the gap last time up. Erstad went a long way to run it down. Here's the pitch to him. That's line to center field. Erstad racing to his left. Oh, he makes a diving catch in the outfield. Darren Erstad saves one right there as that ball was slicing away from him. He makes a backhand diving catch. Pretty play by Erstad. That's the first out in the inning, and boy, they're not coming easy, are they? With 1 out, here's Jeff Kent. Kent walked last time up. 1 out, 1 on for the Giants in the second. They already lead 3-0. Washburn delivers, and it's a breaking ball inside and low, ball 1.
Mentioned Washburn's stuff here in the early part of this ball game, and he is working on sheer guts right now because the stuff just is not there.
Kent is hitting just 188 in the series, 3 for 16. Pitch to him, outside, ball 2. Walking Kent to get to Bonds is certainly not the strategy, but Jarrett, I don't think, is feeling like he wants to throw one over the plate right now. He's thrown 40 pitches, only 17 strikes. 2 balls and no strikes to Kent. Here's the check of first and the 2-0 pitch. That one's inside, ball 3. Bonds is on deck. Jarrett's had such a tremendous season. 18-6 this year. 1 postseason win and 1 loss. 3 balls and no strikes. Here's the check of first, the 3-0 to Kent. He takes. I thought they might let him swing there, but Jarrett threw it right down the middle, and it's 3-1. Bonds is on deck. Lofton away from first base with 1 out in the second inning on a great play by Erstad. He's taken hits away from Aurelia both times. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. It's hit in the air into right field. Salmon back to the warning track at the wall. It's over his head and off the wall. Lofton to third. The relay to Kennedy. They hold him at third. The Giants are teeing off on Jared Washburn tonight. Runners at second and third with 1 out. And Barry Bonds coming up with first base open. You have to think they'll walk him here. They pitched to him last time and he doubled down the line. But this one's pretty much a no-brainer. And indeed they will put him on. The crowd booing as they realize what's going on, but this is obviously the play here, and just hope that Santiago hits a ground ball at somebody. It worked out twice that way last night. The third time they did it, Santiago singled to drive in a run.
A little bit surprised the Angels do not have any action in the bullpen. This is a 3-game series now. First team to win 2 wins the World Series, and I don't know that you want to concede anything at this point.
Scott Shields has not pitched in the postseason at all, but this is a situation where you would expect that at least he might be up warming up right now. The Giants are on the verge of busting it wide open. Bases loaded, 1 out, 3-0 here in the second inning. And Benito Santiago at the plate. Santiago had a sacrifice fly his first time up. It was his 3rd RBI in the series, although he's only 3 for 17. So Santiago steps in there with the bases full of Giants. 1 out in the second inning. It's already 3-0 San Francisco. Washburn desperately needs a double play ball.
He's already walked 5 batters tonight, 2 of them intentional. 9 of the first 13 batters for the Giants have gotten on base safely.
Santiago waits. Washburn's pitch. Line shot. That's a base hit into center field. Lofton is in. Here comes Aurelia. The throw from Erstad won't get him. It bounces by Molina, and Santiago's at second. 5-0 Giants. Two RBIs for Santiago. I am stunned, Terry, that nobody is loosening up for the Angels.
No, I said it a couple batters ago. I'm on the same page as you, Rory, but we still do not even see any movement down in the bullpen.
Reggie Sanders at the plate now. The infield drawn in for the Angels. The pitch to Sanders, taken outside, ball 1, and now they'll finally get somebody up.
And it's Scott Shields, who again has not pitched a single inning in the postseason, hasn't pitched since the 27th of September, nearly a month ago. He will warm up.
1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. The pitch to Sanders on the inside corner, strike. Sanders turns around in surprise to the home plate umpire, Mike Riley. One ball, 1 strike. An error has been charged to Erstad on that throw home that allowed Santiago to get to second. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss by Sanders. Went after a breaking ball and didn't get it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. JT Snow on deck. 5-0 Giants in the second inning. If the Angels do not come back in this game, they have the consolation of knowing that the next 2 are scheduled for Anaheim. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bonds at third, Santiago at second. 1 out in the second. Washburn looking in. Sanders waits. Here's the 2-2 pitch. A fly ball into center field. That'll score a run. Erstad moves over to his left to catch it. Bonds easily tags up and scores, and it's 6-0. It was deep enough to get Santiago to third as well. And with 2 outs, here's JT Snow.
This game very similar to Game 3 of the World Series. That was the first game here in San Francisco. Angels won that game 10-4 and led 8-1 after just 3.5 innings.
The pitch to Snow is outside, ball 1. Since the 5th inning of last night's game, the Giants have outscored the Angels 10-0. 1 ball, no strikes to Snow. Washburn is ready. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one swung on and missed. Good breaking ball. 1-1.
That Game 3 of the World Series here in San Francisco. You might recall the Angels had those 2 4-run innings. Well, tonight it's the Giants putting together a pair of 3-run innings in the first 2 innings of this game.
Washburn comes back 1-1, and it's in there for a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Washburn has thrown 56 pitches in an inning and 2/3. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Snow. Breaking ball just outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Scott Shields just kind of standing down there on the mound in the bullpen. Maybe he's ready at this point. 2-2 the count. JT Snow waiting. Washburn delivers 2-2, and the fastball's fouled back. Snow had a pretty good cut at that one. World Series Game 5 brought to you by General Motors, where October is the month to get great deals on GMC and Chevy trucks. Two balls, 2 strikes to Snow. Washburn checks third base. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3. He's gone to a full count. If he loses Snow, you'd have to think that's it. Three and 2 the count. Santiago at third, 2 outs in the second. The 3-2 pitch is hit in the air into shallow left. Eckstein backpedaling. Erstad racing in, and Erstad makes the catch. But the Giants get 3 more. On 3 hits, there was 1 Angel error and 1 man left. And at the end of 2, the Giants 6, the Angels nothing on the Anaheim Angels Baseball Network. He will lead off the 3rd inning for Anaheim. So obviously he'll still be in there in the bottom of the 3rd. Washburn 1 for 5 as a hitter this season. Schmidt's pitch to him is up high for a ball, 1-0. Jason Schmidt has looked just the opposite of Jared tonight. He's been sharp. He has struck out 4 of the 6 outs he's recorded. And there's a strike to Washburn, 1-1. Schmidt into his windup. The 1-1 pitch to Jared is hit down to shortstop. Aurelia gloves it. He throws it across for the out. So Jared made contact. 1 out in the top of the order coming up, David Eckstein.
Well, there might be some people wondering why would you even let Washburn bat in that situation. You'd given up the 6 runs in the first 2 innings, and I just got to think that Mike is hoping to get a couple more innings out of Jared just to protect his bullpen for, the next 2 games, if there will be 2 more games left of this World Series. You don't want to have to go 6 innings in relief here tonight.
First pitch to Eckstein, outside, ball 1. Eckstein had a solid single into center field his first time up. 1 out, nobody on. Eckstein takes high and tight. He is 7 for 19 in the World Series. Don't forget the Angels were down 6-1 in the game to the Yankees in the ALDS. Came back to win it. They're down 6-0 here tonight. There's a pitch outside to Eckstein, and it's 3-0. Darren Erstad on deck for the Angels. 1 out, nobody on. 3-0 pitch. Eckstein takes, and it's ball 4. Jason Schmidt walks David Eckstein on 4 straight. With a 6-0 lead, that's not what he had in mind there. And it brings up Erstad. The Angels have the type of attack that can certainly generate some runs and come back into this ball game. It's only the 3rd inning. But they'll have to figure out some way also to slow down the Giants' attack. The pitch to Erstad is low. Schmidt's missed with 5 in a row, and Santiago goes out to talk to him. Schmidt didn't have too bad a walk ratio this year, 73 walks in 185 innings. He struck out 196, so he had better than a strikeout per inning, as he does tonight. 1 ball, no strikes to Darren Erstad. Eckstein away from first base. Snow holding him on over there. Top of the 3rd inning. If you're just joining us, it's been all San Francisco. It's 6-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's high. Ball 2. So the home plate's moving around on Schmidt all of a sudden.
Now, one of the knocks on Schmidt has always been that he's a guy that has a tendency to think a little bit too much while he's out there on the mound.
Something that never plagues us too much. Eckstein goes, and the pitch is in there for a strike. They don't even make a throw. Eckstein steals second. So the count, 2 balls and 1 strike to Darren Erstad. That takes the double play away from the Giants. First World Series stolen base for Eckstein. The stretch by Schmidt, and the pitch. Swing and a miss by Erstad. Good sinker by Schmidt, and the count goes to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Eckstein at second. Erstad at the plate. Salmon on deck. 6-0 Giants in the top of the third. Erstad trying to get something going for Anaheim. Here's the stretch by Schmidt. And the 2-2 pitch on the way. Pop fly behind third base. Bell racing out. It's going to drop in for a hit. Eckstein goes to third. Erstad has a bloop single down the third base line. So the Angels with a chance here to get something going as Erstad dunks one in behind David Bell at third. Before Salmon steps in, we'll pause 10 seconds for our stations to identify themselves. This is the Anaheim Angels Baseball Network.
You're listening to the Anaheim Angels on Talk Radio AM570 KLAC Los Angeles. Home of Michael Jackson, weekdays 9 till noon.
Salmon struck out his first time up. Runners at first and third, 1 out. The Angels trying to get back in it here in the third inning. Schmidt from his stretch. The pitch to Salmon. On the outside corner, strike called. Salmon hitting .353 in the series, 6 out of 17. Angels trying to get a rally going here in the top of the third inning to get back in the ballgame. The Giants with 3 in the first and 3 more in the second. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Salmon looks at one down low. 1 ball and 1 strike to Tim. 5 hits in the game for the Giants, plus 5 walks by Washburn. The Angels now have 3 hits. One and one. Salmon waits. Throw to first base. Erstad dives back in there. Erstad being held on by J.T. Snow. Eckstein talking to Ron Renicky, the Angels' third base coach, as he takes his leadoff down the line. The Giants looking for 2 on the infield. The Angels looking to get back in the game. Here's the stretch. And the 1-1 pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. So Schmidt is getting up there in the pitch count department. He's thrown 48 now with only 1 out in the third inning. Angels have made him work a little bit. The Angels left 2 men on in the first inning. They did go out 1, 2, 3 in the second. 2 balls and 1 strike to Tim Salmon. The check by Schmidt. The 2-1 pitch is swung on and missed. Good breaking ball. Strike 2. I don't know if Salmon will see a fastball. Schmidt has made Tim miss badly on breaking balls. The count is 2-2.
He struck out Salmon with a slider back in the first inning. That last pitch, another slider that he got Salmon a wave at. That's a pitch low and away to a hitter. You have to try to take that the opposite way. It's a very tough pitch to pull.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 men on. Here's the stretch by Schmidt. And the 2-2 to Salmon. Erstad goes, and it's fouled back out of play. Erstad easily had that base stolen, as Eckstein easily stole second earlier in the inning. Maybe with a 6-run lead, Schmidt's not giving him that much of a look. Two balls, 2 strikes to Tim Salmon. Garrett Anderson waiting on deck for the Angels. Jason Schmidt reading Santiago. Erstad away from first base. Eckstein down the line at third. The 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed. He got him with a fastball. He kept it away from Salmon. And Tim, unable to make contact, strikes out for the second time tonight. That brings up Garrett Anderson with 2 out and 2 on. This is shades of the first game of this series where the Angels had runners on base. They had Salmon and Anderson up in some situations and could not score much. They lost 4-3. Now Garrett at the plate. Schmidt's pitch to him. Breaking ball in there on the inside corner, 0-1. Garrett Anderson had a single his first time up. Runners on the corners. 2 outs in the third inning. Schmidt's 0-1 to Garrett. Oh, that's way inside. It rolls away from Santiago, but not very far. Up under the arms of Garrett Anderson. 1 ball and 1 strike. So he knocked Gloss down with a pitch earlier tonight. And that one he grazed, just about grazed, Garrett's letters. Just missed him.
It's Pac Bell Park. There's not a whole lot of foul territory, not a whole lot of room behind home plate. It's even possible you could throw a wild pitch that could ricochet off the backstop back to the catcher, and you still might not be able to score from third.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. Throw to first base. Erstad dives back in there. Anderson trying to get something across for the Angels here in the third inning. They're down by 6. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss and a good slider. Strike 2. So Schmidt had runners at first and third with 1 out. He has struck out Salmon, and now he's 1-2 to Garrett Anderson. He stares in at Santiago. Checks the runners. And the 1-2 pitch in the dirt, blocked nicely by Santiago. 2-2. That ball was a good 5 or 6 feet out in front of home plate. Benito, like a hockey goalie, flopping behind the plate to keep that ball in front of him. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Garrett Anderson.
On that ball that bounced in, Garrett was in no hurry to move out of the batter's box, so Santiago kind of ran into him. There was some contact there.
Eckstein at third, Erstad at first. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a line drive to right, but it's right at Sanders, and that'll end the inning. No runs for the Angels, 1 hit. They leave 2. We head to the bottom of the third. It is the Giants 6, the Angels nothing on the Anaheim Angels Baseball Network. David Bell to lead things off against Washburn here in the third. Jared Wines on the pitch to Bell. Breaking ball in there for a called strike, 0-1. Bell walked with the bases loaded, getting an RBI his first time up. Washburn's 0-1 pitch, fastball hitting the hole at shortstop. Eckstein backhands it. His long throw won't get him. That's hit number 6 for the Giants tonight. Now Jason Schmidt coming up. They'll probably have him bunt. Jason Schmidt was a strikeout victim in the first inning as the Giants batted around. Spezio playing up on the grass at first base. Bell gets his lead off behind him. Schmidt's around to bunt and gets it down. Washburn fields it. He throws to first base. Kennedy covering for the out. Schmidt gets his job done, getting the bunt down. 1 out, a runner at second base. And Kenny Lofton coming up. Lofton's already been up twice in the first 2 innings. He already has 2 hits and 2 runs scored. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Anaheim Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Anaheim Angels. Lofton at the plate. Washburn's pitch to him. Curveball in for a strike, 0-1. Another tip-off to Jared's struggles tonight is how many batters he's starting with a curveball. He's a high fastball pitcher. There's another breaking ball, and it's grounded to second. Kennedy has it, throws Lofton out. Bell goes on to third. 2 outs in the third, and now Rich Aurelia, who has been robbed twice by Erstad, especially the second time when Darren went diving into the gap to take a hit away from him. Aurelia would just as soon not hit the ball to center field, you'd have to think.
Well, he's hit the ball about as hard as anybody in their lineup, but as you mentioned, nothing to show for it. Erstad's been busy out there in center field in the first few innings. He had all 3 putouts last inning and retired Aurelia in the first inning on a fly ball.
The Giants have a runner at third with 2 outs. Washburn's pitch. Aurelia takes it in the dirt. Ball 1. Two out, 1 on. 6-0 San Francisco in the third inning. Game 5 of the World Series going the Giants' way so far. Washburn looking in. Jarrett into his stretch. Here's the 1-0 pitch. A fly ball into center, well hit. Erstad going back. He's going to have room just at the track. He makes the catch. Aurelia can't avoid Erstad. And the Giants in the third inning get no runs on a hit. They leave a man at third. At the end of 3, San Francisco 6, the Angels nothing. Through 3 innings tonight, it has been all San Francisco. The Giants lead the Angels by a score of 6-0. 6 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Giants. No runs, 3 hits, and 1 error for the Angels. So the Angels have a lot of work to do. We go to the 4th inning. Here's Terry Smith.
All right, thanks, Rory. It'll be Troy Gloss to lead it off. Gloss, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Angels have had some base runners against Schmidt, but have not been able to cash in so far, stranding 4 and leaving a couple in scoring position. Schmidt ready. Here's the first pitch on Troy, and he takes that one for a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Infield back, the outfield is straight away. The breeze appears to be blowing from right to left at the moment. The pitch, and that's fouled back to the screen, so the count quickly jumps to 0-2. Schmidt is throwing hard. He's been using a steady diet of fastballs throughout the first few innings. He has been throwing that slider effectively as well, and he's already notched 5 strikeouts out of the first 9 outs he's recorded. The 2-strike pitch, that one bounces in, And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Voss has had a good World Series. He's had a very solid postseason, and he hit well against Schmidt in Game 1 of this World Series with a pair of homers against them. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right-hander against right-hander. A couple of big guys squaring off here, and the 1-2 delivery. A swing and a miss. Fastball struck him out. That one 97 miles per hour.
Schmidt has challenged the big hitters in the Angel lineup. So he has struck out Salmon twice, and now he has struck out Gloss twice.
So here is Scott Spezio. Well, he's had the luxury of working with a 6-run lead since the end of the second inning. He had a 3-run lead as he got ready to work in the second. Pitch on its way. That one is fouled back behind the plate. Angels hitters late on the Schmidt fastball here. No balls and 1 strike the count on Scott Spezio. Scott was a strikeout victim his first time up. 6 runs, 6 hits for San Francisco. No runs on 3 hits for the Angels. 0-1 on Spezio, and that one misses high. The count even. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Hey, Angels fans, visit angelsbaseball.com for the best selection of official World Series merchandise. To support your American League champion Angels and dress in style, go to angelsbaseball.com. The pitch, that's inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Tomorrow will be an off day, and then Game 6 of the World Series at Edison Field. The pitching matchup, Kevin Appier against Russ Ortiz. That game is sold out. No tickets available back in Anaheim. 2-1. That one's fouled back, not too far from the booth, back and out of play. And the count even. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Before the ball game this afternoon, Scott Spezio with his father down on the field. They were actually playing catch along the first base line in foul territory. Joe Madden, the Angels bench coach, joking around with Scott, saying, "What is this, the Field of Dreams?" As the elder Spezio playing catch with his son. The 2-2, and that one is low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We'll see what gives on the 3-2 pitch. Schmidt has walked 1, and here it comes. Ball fouled back again behind home, so Spezio battling, hanging in there with the count, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
I asked Ed Spezio if he enjoyed Scott's musical talents. He said, well, to me, music is Jack Jones and Frank Sinatra. I don't really know what Scott's doing there, but the young people sure seem to like him, was about all they could say about it.
He must have enjoyed Tony Bennett singing here.
Yeah, he did. He mentioned that.
Yep. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the next payoff pitch, that one's hammered but foul down the right side, down around the Angels' bullpen area. So it's still 3 balls and 2 strikes. Talking about Scott Spezio and his dad having a little catch before the ball game. We've seen Scott and his son Tyler out at Edison Field during the World Series, especially on the workout days. He's taken his young son to the ballpark. There's a pitch that misses high, and it'll be ball 4. So the Angels have a 1-out base runner, and the batter now will be Adam Kennedy. Adam with a ground out to first, his first time up. You see the Angels starting to get some movement down in the bullpen. It looks like Scott Shields will begin to warm up, and Jared Washburn is slated to bat after Benji Molina, who's now waiting on deck. So we'll likely see a pinch hitter if we do get that far here in this inning. The pitch, and that one is a pitch that misses for a ball. To count 1 ball, no strikes.
Angels haven't had much trouble getting base runners. They just can't get them in. They had 2 men on in the first inning and left them stranded. 2 men on in the third inning. left them stranded, and now Dave Righetti goes out to talk to Schmidt.
And that meeting going on out there, the pitching coach. There was some talk during this season that Dave Righetti might be headed to New York to be the Yankees pitching coach, but Mel Stottlemyre has announced that he will be back next season with the Yankees. There was some talk of Stottlemyre retiring. He's had a lot of health problems in recent years, but he was feeling a lot better this season and told Joe Torre he wanted to come back for another year, so it would appear Righetti will be staying with the Giants. Of course, they have to decide who their manager will be next season, whether they will retain Dusty Baker, who's in the final year of his contract. 1-0 pitch. Smack foul over on the right side. Count even. It's 1 ball, 1 strike on Adam Kennedy.
Want to congratulate Ken Mache if indeed he does get that job in Oakland. Certainly well deserving of it. All the reports here seem to indicate that he'll get that position once Art Howe moves to New York. But if Mache doesn't, well, he'll get one somewhere. He's a manager waiting to happen.
Art Howe leaving the A's to take over the Mets. 1-1. And that one is a little bit low and inside. Fans didn't like the call. 2 balls and 1 strike. What a changing of the guard there will be in the American League West for next season as far as managers. Seattle will have a new manager. And Oakland and Texas with Buck Showalter there.
Right.
2 balls and 1 strike.
Socha's the dean.
Here's the pitch. And checking the swing was Kennedy. Fouled that one off on the third base side. So the count level at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Schmidt as he works here in the 4th with a 6-0 lead. Struggling a bit with his location. Walked a batter in this inning. He had fallen behind on Kennedy, but has gotten the count even at 2-2. He's thrown 72 pitches, 45 for strikes, 27 out of the strike zone. Long look in for Schmidt. He's taking a lot more time between pitches now. He's ready. And 2-2. That's fouled off by the plate. So the count remains even at 2 balls and 2 strikes unless the Angels have a big comeback tonight. Here in Game 5 of the World Series, the Halos could be going into Saturday's game, Game 6, facing elimination. So even more pressure possibly on Kevin Appier, who is going to get the start for the Halos in that one. Two-two pitch. Again fouled off. So we've seen some of the Angels hitters, including Kennedy right here, really working Schmidt tonight. But the Angels, as was the case after the 3rd inning of last night's ball game, unable to get any key hits against the Giants pitchers. Last night, after the 3rd, the Angels bats really went quiet. Had only 3 hits in the last 6 innings of last night's game. The Angels did not get a runner past first base after the 3rd inning last night.
All 3 of those hits resulted in double plays.
And tonight, the Angels have had 3 hits, and they've all been singles. 2-2 on Kennedy. There goes the runner. The pitch is pop back foul, and that's going to head back to the seats on the third base side. So Kennedy continues to wear out Schmidt here with Benji Molina waiting on deck. Schmidt, a key acquisition by the Giants last year. They got him from the Pirates. He was originally in the Braves organization. He said he learned a lot from being around the likes of Maddox and Glavine and Schmaltz. There's a swing and a miss on the 2-2. After all of that, Kennedy is down on strikes. So both outs in the inning have come on strikeouts. And 7 outs out of the 11 recorded by Schmidt have come on strikeouts. And that was a pitch there that just dropped off the table. So here's Benji Molina with 2 outs. Spezio on at first. See Brad Fulmer coming out to the on-deck circle. If Benji can keep this inning alive, Fulmer would pinch hit the pitch. That one's popped foul down the right side. Sanders is chasing. He will run out of room in foul territory. That one gets back to the seats and out of play. No balls and 1 strike. 6-0 in favor of the Giants here in Game 5 of the World Series. The Giants scored 3 times in the bottom of the first. In that first inning, Jared Washburn walked 4 batters, including 3 in a row, and walked in a run. And then it wasn't much better in the second inning when the Giants scored 3 more times in that inning. 0-1 pitch. Popped up. Right side. Should be the inning. The second baseman, Ken, on the outfield grass, puts it away. So the Angels go down here in the 4th. In the inning, no runs, no hits, a walk, no errors. And the Angels leave their 5th runner on base. We are getting set to move to the bottom of the 4th. The pitch. That one is low and inside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Kent with a walk and a double and 2 runs scored. He's officially 1 for 1. He's had only 4 hits, though, and 17 times up here in the World Series. The pitch. And he lifts one in the air into right field. It's hanging up for Tim Salmon. He's there waiting. He'll squeeze it. And that'll be the first out. So Washburn has retired the last 4 in a row, which is by far his longest string in this game. And Barry Bonds will be the batter. And the Angels will pitch to Bonds here as they put the shift on. 3 infielders on the right side. The pitch on Bonds. That one bounces in for a ball. All 3 infielders on the right side, Spezio, Kennedy, and Eckstein, every one of them playing on the outfield grass. And even Gloss, who's the only infielder on the left side on the grass. The pitch. That one missed inside. 2 balls and no strikes. So there's not a single Angels infielder who's actually on the infield. Here's the next delivery, and that one's fouled back, not too far away from our booth here. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hope you're enjoying the action tonight. Game 5 of the World Series. Wish we had some better news for you. It's been all San Francisco tonight. They lead it 6-0 as they bat in the bottom of the 4th. The 2-1 pitch. It's popped in the air into shallow left field. Garrett Anderson waiting for it. He's under. He'll squeeze it, and that's the second out. So Bond's an easy out. First time he's been retired tonight. And Santiago will be the next batter. Jared Washburn, who's pitching tonight here at Pac Bell Park, is pitching with a number of friends on hand from his hometown of Webster, Wisconsin. He's had his family watch him during the playoffs in the postseason. But last Saturday, when Jarrett was on the mound in Game 1 of the World Series, get to it after the first pitch on Santiago, and that one is a strike on the outside corner. Last Saturday, Washburn was slated to be a best man in his best friend's wedding back in Webster. His best friend is named Aaron Hunter. And Jarrett, of course, was pitching for the Angels against these Giants back at Edison Field, so obviously he missed the wedding. Even though he was slated to be the best man, he had already gotten his tuxedo, rented his tux, but that was way before the Angels went on this run in the postseason. 1 ball, 1 strike on Santiago, the pitch. And that one is a pitch in there for a strike. It's now 1-2. So with Jared missing the wedding, he felt so bad about it that he ended up flying his friend Aaron Hunter and his new wife here to San Francisco, and they're watching this ball game tonight. The pitch, that one is outside, and the count 2-2. So they changed their honeymoon plans, and they're having their honeymoon here in San Francisco, all expenses paid by Jarrett, who felt so badly that he wasn't there for the wedding. 2-2 pitch. That one's hit a long way down the left field side, tight to the line. It is going to be a foul ball. It had the home run distance, but Santiago just pushed it to the left of that left field foul pole. Just a long strike, and the count holding at 2-2 strikes. And Jared's friend was married last Saturday. They actually moved up the wedding a couple of hours just so they could make sure the wedding ceremony was over, and so all those big Jared Washburn fans back in Webster, Wisconsin could watch game 1 of the series. The 2-2 pitch. Ball smacked fair right to the third baseman Troy Gloss. His throw to first, dug out by Scott Spezio, and the inning is over. So Washburn with his first 1-2-3 inning tonight, and that'll do it for the Giants here in the 4th. No runs or hits, no errors, and nobody left. We're headed to the 5th. And Washburn had 1 strikeout. He will leave as the pitcher of record, no chance to win it, and on the hook for his 2nd straight World Series loss. So Orlando Palmeiro will get ready to bat. Palmeiro has not had a whole lot of at-bats during the postseason. He's had just 4, and he's 0 for 4. This will be the 4th time that he's been used as a pinch hitter here in the postseason. See Bud Black talking to Washburn in the dugout. Jared looks a little distraught, disappointed by how he pitched tonight in a very important ball game. The first delivery is fouled off on the left side. That one is back to the seats and out of play. So the count, no balls and 1 strike. Angels have announced that Kevin Napier will pitch Saturday in Game 6. And no word yet, if we go 7, who the starting pitcher will be for the Angels. That one is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. It would be Ramon Ortiz's turn in the World Series rotation, but Mike Scioscia has said that he will wait and see, number one, if there is a 7th game, and if there is, then he'll decide who will pitch that game. There's one that's ripped down the right side by Palmeiro. That is a fair ball. It's a 1-hopper off the wall. Firing it back to second base, but late is Sanders. And at second base with a leadoff double is the pinch hitter Orlando Palmeiro. So he gets his first World Series hit. David Eckstein will be the batter. Eckstein has been on base a couple of times tonight with a single and a walk. So the Angels continue to get hits and base runners, but getting them in has been a problem. And it's really been a problem since the end of the 3rd inning last night. Here's the pitch. That one is a little bit low and away for a ball. The count 1 ball, no strikes. Angels have gone 10 straight innings without a run here in San Francisco. The pitch, that one is ripped but foul down the left side. So the count even. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. With Washburn being lifted for the pinch hitter. Right now, the Angels do not have any action in the bullpen, but you can bet someone will start loosening up soon. Scott Shields has been up a couple of times tonight warming up. There's a pitch, it's low and away. And the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Kind of a chilly night now here at Pac Bell. Bit of a breeze blowing tonight. The pitch, and there's one chopped foul over on the left side. The count even, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Out in the McCovey Cove, there's one of those old-time paddle boats, it looks like. They call it the San Francisco Bell. That boat will ferry people out there in the bay in the McCovey Cove over to the ballpark. They'll dock that and then take off the pitch. That one's fouled off on the right side, back to the seats again. So Eckstein, who has battled well tonight, continues to foul some pitches off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at second, Palmeiro. Eckstein at the plate, nobody out. 6-0 San Francisco. The Angels batting here in the 5th. Schmidt wheels around, bluffs the toss to second. He's thrown 86 pitches in the ball game, so his pitch count starting to rise, and we're only in the 5th. Giants got some very good relief pitching last night in Game 4 of this World Series. The 2-2 on Eckstein. He grounds a ball out of the reach of the third baseman Bell, and it goes through into left field. Palmeiro will move up 1 base to third. The Angels have something brewing as Eckstein is on base with his second hit. He's been on safely 3 straight times, and now Darren Erstad will be the batter. So the Angels have put a couple more on base. It hasn't come easy tonight for Schmidt, even though he's been working with this big lead. But he's been able to get the outs. He's gotten a lot of his outs tonight via the strikeout. Of the 12 outs he's recorded, 7 have come on strikeouts. So the Angels are threatening once again. Erstad has been on base twice, a fielder's choice and a single. He's 1 for 2. Schmidt ready. The Giants right-hander delivers. And the pitch, that one is drilled into right field. Sanders near the rim of the track, on the track, will make the catch. Tagging at third base, scoring easily on the sacrifice fly will be Palmeiro. And the Angels are on the board. It's now a 6-1 Giants lead. So the Angels do put a run on the board. Eckstein remained at first on that sac fly. Tim Salmon will be the batter. At RBI, the second one for Erstad here in the World Series. He's had 6 RBIs in the postseason. So Salmon the batter. Tim has had a tough night against Schmidt. 2 strikeouts and 2 times up. Right-hander against right-hander. The pitch, here's one ripped off the mound and through into center field. Eckstein is going to head for third. Here comes the throw. He is safe. And runners are at the corners. Good, solid, aggressive base running by Eckstein as he tested the arm of Lofton, who threw a strike to third base, but just a little late. Salmon with that single, a ball that skipped off the back part of the mound. Schmidt vacated the mound on the follow-through, and then that ball caromed off the mound into center. So the Angels have more brewing here, and that brings Dave Righetti, the Giants pitching coach, out to the mound to have a word with Schmidt. They're going to get a little movement down in their bullpen. We'll see if indeed they begin to warm someone up. Dave Righetti's been out to the mound a few times in this game, even though Schmidt's been working with the big lead throughout most of the game. Angels finally getting on the scoreboard against them. Now the home plate umpire Mike Riley goes out to the mound to break up the meeting. Left-hander Chad Zerbe is the pitcher who's warming up. So here's Garrett Anderson. Garrett has a single and a line out, 1 for 2. He's had 7 hits in the World Series, but all singles. Garrett's driven in 2 runs in the series, and he bats with runners at the corners here. Schmidt is set. He's ready to come in from the stretch. First pitch on Garrett, and he swings and fouls that one back behind home. Out of play. No balls and 1 strike. Well, now we see Brendan Donnelly warming up for the Angels, so apparently it'll be Donnelly who comes into pitch in the bottom of the 5th. Oh, and 1 the count. Schmidt delivers, and there's a swing and a pitch that gets away from the catcher, Santiago. Breaking for the plate and scoring is Eckstein. Moving to second is Salmon, and it's now 6-2. Eckstein went charging down that third base line and went diving head first to the plate, beat the throw, and the Angels get a gift run right there. The count on Garrett is no balls and 2 strikes. A runner at second base in Tim Salmon. They will score that as a wild pitch against Schmidt, enabling the 2 runners to advance and the run to score. 6-2, the Angels trail. The pitch on Garrett. And did he go around on that high fastball? Yes, he did. Couldn't hold up on it. Struck him out. Second out in the inning. First time Anderson has struck out. Troy Gloss will bat. Troy has struck out twice. Gloss in Game 1 of the World Series homered twice against Jason Schmidt. And boy, a long ball here would put the Angels right back in this ball game, trailing by 4 at the moment. Here's the pitch, and that one's up and in for a ball. The count 1 ball, no strikes. 6-2, the Giants leading. Angels batting here in the 5th inning, having scored twice in the inning, having a runner at second with 2 outs. Schmidt looks at second. Salmon leads off the bag. The pitch on Gloss, high again. Another fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Scott Spezio would be up next if the inning continues. Spezio has been the biggest run producer of all the Angels in the postseason. 2 balls and no strikes on Gloss. The next delivery, he took a good cut at that one and fouls it back. A little bit late on that fastball. 2-1 the count. Schmidt has been working Gloss tonight, up and in for the most part. The 2 strikeouts he's gotten against Troy have been fastballs rising inside. Tough pitches to handle. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the next pitch, and that one is low, so it's 3-1. If Gloss gets on base, Spezio would be up next. Donnelly continues to warm up for the Angels down the right side. And Zerbe continues to warm up for the Giants. 3 balls and 1 strike on Troy Gloss. And now Schmidt shaking off Santiago. Steps off the rubber. See what happens on the next delivery. 3-1 the count. Here it comes. And that's a pitch in there for a called strike. Gloss thought that fastball might have been a little bit high and a little bit upset with that call, so the count runs full. Schmidt has thrown 97 pitches as he works here in the 5th inning. Count full. Schmidt ready. Gloss awaits the pitch. Here it comes. It's popped foul back behind the plate and out of play. So Troy battling here with the count remaining at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Hey fans, the Angels Dream Week Fantasy Camp is your chance to play alongside Angels greats for 5 days as you live out your childhood dream to play for the Angels. You're in the lineup every day in your own new style Angels uniform at the Angels Spring Training site in Tempe. For reservations, call 800-888-4376 or visit dreamweek.com. The pitch. Here's a ball that's drilled into left field down the line, and that ball is off the wall. Being waved around and coming in to score is Salmon, and at second base with a ringing double off the left field wall is Troy Gloss. It's now a 6-3 ball game. So Gloss on that payoff pitch hammered that one. Had that ball been hit a few feet higher, it would have got out. He drilled it. It was a low line drive that hit the wall down in that left field corner. So the Angels have put 3 on the board. And now you sense the fans a little bit uneasy, as are some of those Giant coaches in their dugout, because the Angels are fighting back in this game. They've cut the lead in half. Another hit could mean another run. Spezio digs in the pitch. He takes it low and away. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Troy Gloss getting his 6th RBI in the World Series. And now Santiago is headed out there to have a word with Schmidt. I don't know if they're just doing some stalling to get Zerbe some more pitches in. He's been loosening up down in that bullpen. You got to think he would be ready by now. Sometimes on a cold night, though, it takes pitchers a little bit longer to get loose. Santiago back behind the plate. 1 ball and no strikes to count on Scott Spezio. Kind of get the feeling if Spezio gets a hit here that would be it for Schmidt. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Runner at second is Gloss the pitch. There's a ball nubbed foul on the third base side. So the count 1 ball and 1 strike. This inning started off with a pinch hit double by Orlando Palmeiro. And after that pinch hit double, a lot of good things have happened for the Angels. The Angels have scored 3 times in this inning. Spezio is the 7th batter up in the inning. The Angels, for the game, have now had 7 hits, which is actually 1 more than the Giants. But the Giants have a 3-run lead. 1 ball and 1 strike on Spezio. Schmidt ready, he delivers. Spezio takes that one low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Talked about it earlier tonight when Schmidt had the 6-run lead, that he's a pitcher who has a tendency to think a little bit too much on the mound, and he might have started to get away from his game, trying to do what he does best. There's a pitch that misses low, and he's struggling with his location now. He's fallen behind 3-1 in this inning. He's wild pitched home a run. Hasn't walked any in the inning, but he's been getting behind hitters and paying for it. Gloss, who hit the RBI double in the inning, the batter before Spezio, got that double on a 3-2 pitch. And now once again Schmidt shaking off Santiago, so those two really having difficulty staying on the same page here. Adam Kennedy waits on deck. 3-1 the count on Spezio, the pitch. And that is low, and he walked him. So runners at first and second. Dusty Baker with the left-hander ready to come in, and Kennedy slated to bat. Dusty Baker's going to make a pitching change. And Schmidt, who had a 6-0 lead here in the top of the 5th inning, will be lifted, and he will not figure in the decision. He fails to go 5 innings. Two on with 2 outs and 3 runs in. The pitch, that one misses for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, you got to like the fight in the Angels tonight, who are down 6-0 after 2 innings, and now it's 6-3, and the tying run is at the plate. We're only in the top of the 5th. Zerbe ready, delivers. And that one is blooped foul back to the seats on the left side. So the count even, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Adam Kennedy, the MVP of the American League Championship Series. Angels beating the Minnesota Twins 4-1 in that series. This World Series is tied at 2 wins apiece. Game 6 will be Saturday at Edison Field. The pitch, and that breaking ball was in there. That was a good slow curveball. 1-2 the count. That one froze Adam Kennedy. Losses the runner at second. Spezio is on at first. Kennedy at the plate, Molina waiting on deck. 2 outs. Zerbe ready, and the next pitch. That one is line foul down the left side. It drops over near the Giants bullpen area. So the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kennedy cracked his bat on that last one, so he gets some new lumber. 8th batter up in the inning. If he gets on base and Molina steps up, would be the 7th time in the postseason that the Angels have batted around, sending 9 or more batters to the plate in 1 inning. The pitch. A ball that's lifted in the air in his center field. Lofton has a beat on it, though, and he makes the catch. That ball was hit pretty well. It was carrying out there, but a out that sent Lofton near the rim of the track. So the Angels will settle for 3. Nine innings of work, 6 hits, 6 runs, all earned. He's given up a couple homers, walked 3, struck out 7. Posing batters in the postseason are hitting just 182. So Donnelly's job now is to give the Angels, well, you got to think Mike Scioscia would like to get a couple of innings out of him, and certainly would like to get a couple of scoreless innings out of Brendan Donnelly. Reggie Sanders will be the first batter. Donnelly pitched a couple nights ago in the opening game here in San Francisco, Game 3 of the World Series, and he pitched 2 scoreless innings. So Reggie Sanders will get ready to lead it off. Sanders has been intentionally walked, and he's also had a sac fly, so he's 0 for 0 with a run batted in. The pitch, and that one missed inside for a ball. The count, 1 ball, no strikes. Let's pause 10 seconds for our stations to identify themselves. This is the Anaheim Angels Baseball Network.
You're listening to Talk Radio, AM570 KLAC Los Angeles, home of the Anaheim Angels.
1-0 pitch on Sanders. He swings right through that one for strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Reggie Sanders is a player who, during this past offseason, had a chance to become an Angel. Bill Stoneman was very interested in signing Sanders for a while to be a DH for the Angels, but Sanders still wanted to play the outfield. And then after the Angels acquired Brad Fulmer, there was no chance then that the Angels would sign Reggie Sanders, but the Angels were courting him for a while during the offseason. That one's fouled back behind the plate. 1-2 is the count. Sanders was with the Arizona Diamondbacks last year. They won the World Series. Now he's trying to be on his 2nd straight World Series winner. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one's up and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Angels baseball here in the World Series is brought to you by Thermacare. Feel the difference between can't and can. 2-2 the count. Donnelly working slowly out there. Ready, delivers. That one's fouled back behind the plate. Fastball fouled back. 2-2 the count. Jared Washburn, the Angels starter, really struggled tonight, although he finished his 4-inning stint a lot better than he started it. He actually retired the last 6 batters in a row. But in the first 2 innings tonight, Washburn faced 16 batters. The pitch. There's a high fly ball lifted deep down the left field side, tight to the line. It is a foul ball. It had home run distance, but Sanders pulled it foul down in that left field corner. So Donnelly can take a deep breath there. Boy, that was a pitch that was right in the hitting zone, and Sanders hit it. He hit it hard and far, but foul. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reggie Sanders has hit a couple of home runs here in the World Series. We haven't had any home runs hit yet tonight, although the 2 teams have scored some runs, 9 runs between them. Donnelly delivers, and the left-handed hitting former Angel takes that pitch for ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. JT Snow, one of the real good guys in Major League Baseball. Good spokesperson for the Giants. He was a popular player when he was the Angels. He does a lot of things in the Bay Area here for the Giants. 1 ball and 1 strike. His father, Jack Snow, has been here for the games in San Francisco watching his son. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. The pitch. That one's fouled off of Snow as he fouled it off his foot. So the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Angels getting back in the game thanks to 3 runs in the top of the inning. Angels had a chance to get more in the 5th, but left runners on at first and second when the inning came to an end. Chad Zerbe, who got the final out against the Angels in the 5th inning, will be back out there to pitch in the 6th. There's no action for the Giants right now in their bullpen. Donnelly is working in his first inning of relief here in the bottom of the 5th. He's in front, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Snow. And Donnelly stepped off the rubber as he shakes off the sign of catcher Benji Molina. Snow patiently waiting in the box, swaying the bat below the knees, and now tired of waiting. And now we see Molina go out to have a word with Donnelly. We've seen Brendan Donnelly and Benji Molina, especially in the postseason, for whatever reason, either not being on the same page as far as the signals, but we've seen Donnelly shake off Benji from time to time. Then they've had some get-togethers out there at the mound like they just had. Molina back behind the plate now. David Bell is waiting on deck. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Snow. The pitch. He got him, swung on and missed. Nasty slider struck him out. So back-to-back strikeouts for Brendan Donnelly. 2 up and 2 down. David Bell will be the next batter. Bell's had a good game so far this evening. He's had a bases-loaded walk that drove in a run. And he's also singled. He's officially 1 for 1 with the run batted in. 2 outs, nobody on. Ready is Donnelly. Here's the pitch. And that one is fouled off on the right side, out of play. No balls and 1 strike. When we get to the 6th inning, Benji Molina, then the pitcher Brendan Donnelly. So we'll see what Mike Socia elects to do in that situation. And then it'll be David Eckstein batting 3rd in the top of the 6th. 6-3 the score. Giants on top. Here's the next pitch, and that one misses low and away. A slider, the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Game 6 of the World Series Saturday night at Edison Field. It'll be a rematch of Apier against Ortiz. Both of those pitchers really struggled when they squared off against each other in Game 2. Felix Rodriguez is now up for the Giants in their pen. The pitch, and that one is a strike on the outside corner. 1-2 the count. When JT Snow was batting earlier in this inning, the last hitter, he eventually struck out. He did foul a pitch off his leg, it appeared. The 1-2, that one is low. 2-2, and they've been checking out Snow in the Giants dugout on that third base side, so not sure if he's hurt to the point where he's not going to be able to continue in the ball game, but it did appear that he headed down towards the clubhouse area, down to the tunnel, so we'll see if he stays in the game defensively when we get to the sixth. Once again, Donnelly and Molina not on the same page, and tired of waiting with Bell, he backs out of the box. Brendan Donnelly is a strike away from having a 1-2-3 inning, but it's taking a long time to accomplish it. He's set, and the 2-2 pitch. That one's fouled off of Benji, and back to the backstop it goes. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right now, the next batter who is scheduled for the Giants is the pitcher Zerby. He's waiting on deck, although they do have Rodriguez, Felix Rodriguez, warming up in the bullpen. 2-2 pitch. It's popped up, foul, first base side playable. Spezio will make the catch. Zerby getting ready to work in his first full inning of relief. First pitch on Molina. That one is up and in for a ball. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Felix Rodriguez is not warming up at the moment, but he's heading out to the bullpen to begin loosening up once again. Benji Molina 0 for 2 tonight. The pitch, he bounces one by the mound and through into center field. A leadoff base hit. So the Angels have their first batter on to start off the 6th inning. Boy, the hits are really starting to drop in for the Halos now. It's 5 hits over the last couple of innings, and now Benji Gill will be the pinch hitter for Brendan Donnelly. The Angels will begin to get action in the bullpen, and we see Scott Schoenweiss loosening up. So Benji Gill will pinch hit. And Benji has been a hitting machine in the postseason. He's been up 11 times with 7 hits, batting .636 in the postseason. In the World Series, he's 3 for 4, batting .750. Zerby's pitch, a swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. There's Benji Molina, the base runner over there at first base. A very slow runner. So it could be a situation where as long as he's on the bases, you're going to need a couple of hits to bring him in. Either that or a long one to get him home. The pitch. That's driven into center field. Lofton stumbled a bit and can't make the catch. The ball's over his head out to the 399 sign. Runners at second and third. Kenny Lofton stumbled on that ball that was hit right in his direction. And then he realized it was hit harder than he thought. And he tried to jump up and spear it and couldn't. So it's a pinch hit double. Runners at second and third.
The Angels have used 2 pinch hitters tonight, and they have both doubled. Palmeiro last inning, Gill this inning. Now they have the tying run at the plate with nobody out in the 6th inning, and Righetti going out to the mound once again.
So Rodriguez is warming up. Normally the pitching coach doesn't make a pitching change. Eckstein will be the next batter.
Rodriguez has been in every game, hasn't he?
Yeah, he sure has. Every game of this World Series and overall in their postseason. If he does appear tonight, and you got to think he will, he would be appearing in his 12th postseason game out of their 15. So runners at second and third. Both of the pinch hit doubles coming out of that 9-hole, the pitcher's spot. So here's Eckstein, who represents the tying run at the plate. Zerbe stays in there, and the pitch on David. That one is inside, 1-0. Now with Molina, the runner at third base, you're going to have to hit it fairly deep on a sac fly to get him in. But a base hit would bring him in, and David Eckstein is 2 for 2 tonight. Couple singles and a walk. The pitch. He takes that one for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Angels fighting and clawing and getting back in this ball game. Still trailing by 3, but having the tying run at the plate. Nobody out here in the 6th. Zerbe delivers. Eckstein with a nubber on the third base side, and that is going to be a foul ball. It hit off David's foot. The ball rolled into fair ground, but if the ball strikes the batter's foot and rolls fair, it is a foul ball. It's a dead ball once it hits off the batter.
Eckstein already has 2 hits tonight and a walk. He has scored a run. He has stolen a base. He's been active, and they would love a hit out of him right here.
So 1 ball and 2 strikes. David swaying the bat below the knees, always in constant motion as he awaits the pitch. The 1-2. He chops a ball out towards the shortstop. It'll get the runner in. The throw is in time at first. Molina on contact, was breaking for the plate and scores. It's a 6-4 ball game. Give Eckstein an RBI on that ground out. Moving on to third base, Benji Gill. And the Angels will have Darren Erstad coming to the plate. So Eckstein did his job with that ground out. David's 3rd RBI here in the World Series. 4 straight unanswered runs by the Halos. Now a fly ball deep enough to the outfield would mean another run if Erstad can deliver. Second baseman Kent went over to have a word with the pitcher Zerbe. Benji Gill leading off third. Darren Erstad tonight has a sac fly. Got that his last time up. He's also singled and reached on a fielder's choice. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI. The pitch. And he nubs one over on the first base side. Fielded by Zerbe. He applies the tag and the runner can't come in. Boy, that was a fine play by the pitcher Zerbe. The catcher Santiago had to stay back to guard the plate. So it was only Zerbe who could have done anything there, and he came flying off the mound to field that ball and got the tag on Erstad about a quarter of the way up the first base line. Terrific play. Big out right there. 2 outs the runner has to hold. Unassisted put out for the pitcher. And now Dusty Baker is going to come out and pull Zerbe, as they will bring in the right-hander Felix Rodriguez. Felix Rodriguez is the new pitcher. Runner at third base. A run in, 2 outs. Salmon got a base hit his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Rodriguez, the hard thrower, delivers, and that first pitch fastball misses. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, the Angels will be making a pitching change when we get to the bottom of the inning. Weber and Schoenweiss are each warming up. Tsuyoshi Shinjo is now the new right fielder for the Giants. They made the double switch. Shinjo will end up leading off the bottom of the inning. The pitch, and that one is a pitch that misses ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Rodriguez has been a real workhorse for the Giants here in the postseason. appearing in his 12th postseason game. No wins, 1 loss. No saves, 2.13 ERA. 2-0 pitch. Salmon takes outside. It's now 3 balls and no strikes. The one postseason loss that Rodriguez has had for the Giants came against the Angels. In the World Series, he's 0-1. This is his 5th appearance. He's appeared in all 5 games, 3.60 ERA in the World Series. 3-0 the count on Salmon, who's the tying run at the plate. And the 3-0 pitch. There's a green light, but he bounces it right to third. Fielded there by Bell, and he throws out Salmon. He was swinging 3-0. He hit it hard, but he hit it right at David Bell. So the inning is over. The Angels get 1 run. In the inning, the Angels had 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left at third. We are going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Angels have fought back. And Tsuyoshi Shinjo will lead it off, batting out of the pitcher's slot. First pitch, that one is in there for a called strike. He was part of that double switch by Dusty Baker in the top of the inning, so he is batting 9th in their order. And now Reggie Sanders on the order, occupied by the pitcher. There's one line foul down the left side and back to the seats. No balls and 2 strikes. Shinjo in the postseason is 1 for 4. Right-hander against right-hander as Weber looks in for the sign. He's in front, 0-2. And the 2-strike pitch. That one's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ben Weber in the postseason, appearing in his 9th game. No wins, 1 loss, no saves. ERA is 6.43. Ben has struggled here in the postseason. 1-2 pitch. Shinjo fouls that one back behind the plate. Count stays at 1-2. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves. This is the Anaheim Angels Baseball Network.
The Anaheim Angels on Talk Radio AM570 KLAC Los Angeles. Home of Gil Gross mornings 5 till 9 a.m.
Shinjo moving back in the batter's box. Weber with the double pump and the pitch. And that's a called third strike. Struck him out looking. Shinjo backed away off the plate, and that one nipped the inside corner. So Weber gets the first out. Boy, there has been a definite shift of momentum here at Pac Bell Park. Now, whether or not the Angels can get back and tie this thing up or take the lead remains to be seen. There's still time to do it. The Angels have 9 more outs to play with in this game. But after getting behind 6-0, this club could have just quit, but there's never been any signs of quitting by the Angels all season long, and they've chopped 4 runs off the lead, trailing it 6-4. At the plate now is Lofton, the pitch. He takes the first one for a strike. 0-1 on Kenny Lofton. Lofton misjudged Benji Gill's double out in center field in the top of the inning. The pitch, here's a 1-hopper hit the second right at Kennedy. He'll easily throw out Lofton, and that's the second out. So Weber has retired 2 batters in a row to get this bottom of the 6th underway. 2 quick outs. Rich Aurelia will be the next batter. Don't forget, after Game 5 of the World Series, Angels Report will follow. Have a recap of the scoring, some of the play-by-play highlights. We'll have a chance to chat with one of the players of the game. It's all coming up right after Angels baseball. Aurelia has had about the toughest 0 for 3 you'll ever see. He has hit the ball right on the screws all 3 times up, but has hit the ball in the direction of Darren Erstad all 3 times up. First pitch of ball, the count 1-0. Couple of lineouts, and then another ball that Erstad caught. It's retired him 3 times, and Aurelia's really hit the ball hard and deep. The pitch, he lines one just out of the reach of Gloss, and it gets through into left field for a 2-out hit. It's the 4th time that Aurelia's hit the ball hard. That's his first hit, and Gloss nearly caught that one as he went diving to his left and just couldn't quite get to it. Looked like that ball might have hit off the lip of his glove. It would have been a great play had Gloss made that diving catch. I think he might have just gotten a little bit of glove on that one. So here's Kent getting ready to bat. That is only the second hit for the Giants since the end of the second inning. Angels have out-hit the Giants 9-7, but trail 6-4. Pitch is fouled off by Kent, out of play on the right side. No balls and 1 strike. 6 runs, 7 hits for San Francisco. 4 runs, 9 hits for the Angels. Kent 1 for 2, a walk, a double, and a flyout. Angels have held him in check for the most part here in the World Series. He's driven in only 2 runs in the World Series. He had only 1 RBI for them through the NLCS. The pitch. And he lifts one in the air, hit well into left field. Anderson is back, and that ball is gone. Boy, that's a backbreaker right there. Big hit right there for the Giants. That was huge. Kent with a 2-run, 2-out homer here in the 6th. And now it's an 8-4 Giants lead. Weber is ready. Here's the pitch. They will pitch the Bonds, and the first one is in there for strike 1. 0-1. Kent's other home run in the World Series came against Ramon Ortiz. The pitch, that's a liner that's in the gap in left center. That's going to roll out to the 382 sign. Bonds is headed for second with his second double of the night. Benito Santiago will be the batter. We have seen Ben Weber in the postseason fail to close innings. We saw it in the American League Division Series against the Yankees when he had 2 outs and couldn't close up an inning. He retired the first 2 batters here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And now the Giants have scored 2 in the inning, and Santiago is going to be intentionally walked with first base open. That'll put runners on at first and second. That's not a bad move because it's the pitcher's spot in the order now. And we'll see what the Giants elect to do. It looks like they will pinch hit. Dunston apparently is going to pinch hit for Felix Rodriguez, the pitcher, the reliever. So runners on at first and second after Weber got the first 2 batters out on a strikeout and a 1 hopper to second. He's given up a single, a 2-run homer, a double, and now he's walked the batter intentionally. 4 straight have reached base with 2 outs. Dunston will pinch hit. In the playoffs, Dunston has batted 8 times with 2 hits, 2 for 8, batting .250 with a run batted in. Veteran player, 39 years old. Well, you look at the meat of the order for the Giants tonight. Kent, Bonds, Santiago. Kent with 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Bonds with 2 hits and RBI. Santiago, 1 hit, 3 RBIs. They have really done the job. Serious damage tonight. Dunston, the pinch hitter. And the pitch. That one is in there for a strike, 1-0. Well, Mike Socia tinkered with the idea of going with Scott Schoenweiss here in this 6th inning. He elected to go with Ben Weber, and it just hasn't worked out. Both were warming up when the Angels were batting in the top of the inning. No balls and 1 strike on the pinch hitter Dunston, and he chops that one foul. 0-2 the count. 8-4 San Francisco. The Giants' bats have heated up. Two strikes to count on Dunston. He had stepped out of the batter's box. Now he's back in. Weber ready. 0-2 pitch. Popped foul right side. That one's going to get back and out of play. Now, you know, if there's any team that Ben Weber would like to pitch well against, it's the Giants, a team that he pitched for briefly a couple seasons ago, was released by them, but it just hasn't worked out for him for the most part here in the World Series. Nothing in 2 the count on Dunston. JT Snow would be up next. And the 2-strike pitch. Ball grounded foul on the left side. 0-2. After Weber had retired the first 2 batters in a row to start this inning off, Aurelia hit a ball that Gloss nearly caught at third base, trying to make a diving catch to his left, but he just couldn't quite get to it. It would have been a spectacular play for the out. And then after that, Kent punished a pitch over the wall into left field. 0-2 delivery. That one is inside on Dunston. 1 ball, 2 strikes. When the Angels step up in the 7th, Anderson, Gloss, and Spezio. And the Giants will be forced to go to the bullpen. And it appears that Tim Worrell will be the next pitcher for them. Their 4th of the night. Dunston in no big hurry. Weber was taking too much time for his liking. Now everyone is set. The 1-2 pitch. Got him. Swung on and missed. Struck him out, and that will end the inning. But the Giants add on here with 2 outs in the 6th. They get 2 runs. They did it with 3 hits in the inning. A walk, no errors, and they leave a pair. 6 in the books. Game 5 of the 2002 World Series. Giants have an 8-4 lead to the 7th inning. There's a new pitcher in the ball game for San Francisco. Tim Worrell will take over. He's won 3 games in the postseason. This will be his 11th appearance in relief in the playoffs for San Francisco. 3-0, 4.66 ERA. So the first batter up for the Angels will be Garrett Anderson, then Troy Gloss and Scott Spezio. And back with 7th inning play-by-play action, here's Rory Markus.
Thanks a lot, Terry. Garrett Anderson leads things off against Tim Worrell here in the top of the 7th inning. 8-4 Giants. Garrett Anderson 1 for 3 tonight with a single. Worrell's first pitch to him is high and outside, ball 1. Tim Worrell appeared in 80 games this season. He went 8-2 with a 2.25 earned run average. There's ball 2 to Garrett, inside and low. 2 balls and no strikes. Anderson, Gloss, and Spezio. But Tim Worrell is 3-0 in the postseason. Earned run average 4.66. He's worked 9 2/3 innings, giving up 9 hits, walked 3, struck out 7 this postseason. 2 balls, no strikes to Garrett Anderson. Worrell delivers. Garrett swings and hits a pop fly on the left side. Going out is Bell. He's in foul territory, and he's got it. $42,713, appreciating the efforts of Bell on that one. And with one out, it'll bring up Troy Gloss. The Angels had some momentum. They had fought back from 6-0 to 6-4. But the home run by Jeff Kent, a big blow for the Giants, restoring their lead to 4 runs. It's 8-4. 8 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Giants. 4 runs, 9 hits, and 1 error for the Angels. Troy Gloss hit a bullet off the wall in left for an RBI double last time up. He swings and fouls the first pitch back from Worrell. No balls into strike. Of course, the Angels feeling the game is shortened because Rob Nen is out there. So if you don't come back in the 7th or 8th or don't come back all the way, then in comes Nen in the 9th, and your chances aren't very good. Troy Gloss hitting .345 in the postseason. 8 for 20 in the series, a very good 400. And the pitch to him is foul tipped, and that hits Santiago. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Spezio on deck. The Giants have 10 home runs in this World Series already, the most ever by a National League team. 0-2 the count to Troy Gloss. Tim Worrell stares in. He's working out of a stretch. The 0-2 pitch. Gloss swings and fouls it away right side. Game 6 will be Saturday. That's at Edison Field in Anaheim. 5 o'clock start. Kevin Apier for the Angels and Russ Ortiz for the Giants. It might be a must-win game for Anaheim. No balls, 2 strikes to Troy Gloss. Here's the stretch and the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball outside and low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Giants 8, Angels 4 in the 7th. 1 out, nobody on for the Angels. The Giants trying to make it 2 out of 3 here at Pac Bell Park. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Gloss swings and misses, strike 3. That's the 9th strikeout by Giant pitchers tonight. And it'll bring up Scott Spezio.
Angels were the best contact hitting club in baseball this season. You mentioned the 9 strikeouts, so it's a very high total for this club.
Scott Spezio, 5 for 16 in the series. 0 for 1 tonight. He's walked twice, and he takes a strike. Worrell has come in throwing strikes. .354 in the postseason for Spezio. 0-1 the count to Scott. Worrell delivers, and it's grounded to first base. Snow has a play on it. He goes to the bag himself. The Angels go down very quietly in order in the 7th. So the Angels out 1-2-3 in the 7th inning. Into the bottom of the 7th inning, 8-4 Giants. First pitch to JT Snow is fouled back from Ben Weber, who was going into his 2nd inning of work. No balls into strike to JT, who is 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. The Giants struck early tonight with 3 runs in the 1st and 3 more in the 2nd. They led 6-0. Here's the 0-1 to Snow. That's outside. The Angels got 3 of their own in the 5th, 1 more in the 6th, and they were right back in it at 6-4. But in the bottom of the 6th, a 2-run home run by Jeff Kent. It's 8-4 Giants here in the bottom of the 7th. And there's a shot back up the middle by Snow, leading off the 7th inning. Hit number 10 for the Giants. Solid single into center, and here is David Bell. David Bell, 1 for 2. He also has an RBI on a bases-loaded walk in the first inning, as Washburn struggled mightily tonight, giving up 6 runs in the first 2 innings. Weber sets and delivers. Bell swings, and a broken back ground ball, foul. Third base side, he's left with just a handle in his hand. No balls, 1 strike to David Bell. The Angels, even if they do not come back in this ball game, know that they have the next 2 scheduled at home, Saturday and Sunday, games 6 and 7. And if they can win their home games, they can still win the series. Not that they've given up on this game, but they're down 8-4 in the bottom of the 7th. No balls, 1 strike to Bell. Weber checks first and delivers, and it's taken low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shinjo on deck. Weber, the third pitcher for the Angels. Washburn started, then Donnelly, and now Weber. Ben looking JT Snow back at first. Now he goes into his stretch. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a swing and a miss by Bell. Good sinker from Weber. The count 1-2. The Giants won 1 game of the first 2 in Anaheim. The Angels have won 1 of the first 2 here at Pac Bell Park. The Giants now trying to make it 2 out of 3. 1-2 to Bell. Weber sets. Here he comes, 1-2. And it's low for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dusty Baker flashing a sign out there. They might be running Snow here with a 2-2 count and a 4-run lead. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bell waiting. Weber checks. Snow doesn't go, and the pitch hits him. Oh, there's a deadly mistake by Weber. That puts runners at first and second with nobody out, and Shinjo at the plate. The Angels will get somebody up in the bullpen. Scott Shields is up for the 3rd time tonight. Shinjo batting, first and second, nobody out. The Giants with a chance to break it wide open. Weber's pitch, Shinjo bunts, third base side foul. The Giants have Snow at second, Bell at first base. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Shinjo is 1 for 5 in the postseason. In the regular season, he hit .238, 9 home runs, 37 runs batted in. 0-1 pitch to him. He's around a bunt, and he gets it down. Weber will field it and throw to Kennedy for the out. But the sacrifice works, and there are runners at second and third with only 1 out. As Kenny Lofton steps in, let's pause 10 seconds for our stations to identify themselves. This is the Anaheim Angels Baseball Network.
You're listening to the Anaheim Angels on Talk Radio AM570 KLAC Los Angeles. Home of Susie Orman, weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m.
Fans want to be part of exciting Angels baseball? Get your deposit in now. For your 2003 season seats, Angels season seat holders receive incredible savings over game day ticket prices. The same great seats for all Angel home games. VIP card, playoff priority, special events, gifts, and more. And there's a pitch that goes right off of Molina's glove. Weber covering the plate. It bounced back to Molina, and the run does not score. So a wild pitch is averted because the ball bounced right back to Benji off the backstop. Angel season seats for next season. Call 1-888-796-HALO to secure the best seats. That's another pitch that Molina really should have caught. It was not in the dirt. It wasn't that high. Benji never came out of his crouch, but the ball went off his glove to the backstop. Here's the 1-0 to Lofton. Line drive foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out. 2 men on for the Giants. They lead 8-4 here in the 8th inning. One and 1 to Lofton. Weber delivers. The pitch is outside. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Aurelia is on deck. Weber in a jam here. The count 2-1. Ben delivers to Lofton, and he strokes one into right field. Tim Salmon has to go all the way back to the wall. It's off the wall. 2 runs will score. Lofton at third base with a stand-up triple. Mike Scioscia's coming out. He's going to make a double switch. The Giants have roughed up Ben Weber to begin putting this ball game away. They lead now 10-4. Scott Shields is coming in to pitch for the Angels. And we'll see what the other switch will be for Anaheim. Looks like Wooten for Spezio. But Kenny Lofton has delivered the 2-run triple with 1 out here in the 7th. Scott Shields delivers. Aurelia takes it. It's a strike, 0-1.
This is the first time that Shields has pitched since the 27th of September when he started a game, his only start of the year. He started a game against Seattle. He's gone nearly a month without pitching.
No balls, 1 strike to Aurelia. Shields delivers, and it's low and outside. 1-1 the count. Aurelia lined a single off the glove of Troy Gloss last inning. It was a bullet. Troy got his glove on it but couldn't flag it down. And the next batter, Jeff Kent, hit a 2-run home run. 1 ball and 1 strike to Rich Aurelia. Shields sets. Here's his pitch. Pop fly foul. That's going to go out of play. Kent is on deck here with 1 out. 2 more runs in for the Giants here in the 7th.
Scott Shields is a guy that if he pitches well here the rest of the way, and he's probably going to be in for at least 1 more inning working the 8th, he could be a factor if this World Series goes 7 games. We could see him again if he pitches well tonight.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Good breaking ball. He dropped down to the side, strikes out Aurelia swinging. So with 2 outs, here is Jeff Kent. Kent hit a home run last time up. It was a big hit. He has scored 3 runs. He has driven in 2. He's 2 for 3. He has a walk and a double as well tonight. Good job by Shields to come in and strike out Aurelia with a runner at third and less than 2 outs. Now he works on Kent, who takes one high and tight, ball one. One ball and no strikes to Jeff Kent. Down the line at third base is Kenny Lofton. Shields 1-0 pitch. Another one up and in. Ball two. Barry Bonds on deck. Two balls, no strikes to Jeff Kent. Shields stares in for the sign, checks third base. Here he comes 2-0, and it's fouled back. The Angels got to within 2, but the Giants have put 4 more of their own on the board. They have 11 hits now to the Angels 9. Two balls, one strike. Jeff Kent waiting up there as Scott Shields stares in for the sign. Now he's into his stretch. Here he comes 2-1. It's low and inside. Ball 3. He's in danger of walking Kent and pitching to Bonds, or intentionally walking Bonds to load the bases. Bonds is chatting with Peter McGowan, the Giants owner, as he's in the on-deck circle, just looking back over there. 3-1 the count. Shields' pitch is grounded foul into the photog well, third base side. The count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Mentioned Barry Bonds. I believe that's his wife and daughter next to the Giants owner. And he's chatting with all 3 of them right now.
Full count, 3-2. Jeff Kent waits up there. The Giants lead 10-4 with 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Shields goes into his stretch. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Pop fly on the right side, foul territory. Sean Wooten comes over, and he'll run out of room. It's back up into the seats. This is another ball game tonight that's stretching into the late hours in the East. We're at about 3 hours and 15 minutes in the 7th inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Shields working out of a stretch, checks third. Here's the 3-2 pitch. A drive into deep left field. Anderson won't catch it. Kent has hit him out in back-to-back at-bats. Another 2-run home run for Jeff Kent, and the Giants blow it wide open, 12-4. They have a 2-run triple and a 2-run home run in this inning. Here's Bonds, and he takes low, ball 1. So tonight it's been Jeff Kent swinging the big bat. 1-0 pitch. Bonds looks at a strike. Bonds has had a good night. He has 2 doubles and a walk tonight. The pitch to him, swung on and missed, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Barry Bonds. Scott Shields in his first work in almost a month. He backs off the mound. He wants Benji to go through the signs again. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Giants now have 11 home runs in the first 5 games of the World Series.
Now the 2-2. It's hit right back up the middle. Base hit. Barry Bonds has his 3rd hit of the ball game. And for the Giants, that's 13 hits.
And the Angels had 3 infielders on that right side, and he was still able to bounce it through the right side.
Here's Benito Santiago. So Bonds hasn't hit any out, but he has 3 hits in the ball game. Santiago waits, Shields delivers, and it's waved at and missed. Good breaking ball, strike 1. The Giants 12, the Angels 4. So it looks like the Angels will need 2 in a row at home. Kevin Apier pitches Saturday against Russ Ortiz for the Giants. Here's the 0-1 pitch, fouled straight back by Santiago, a fastball. The count, no balls, 2 strikes. Santiago walks out of the box. Scott Shields, the 4th pitcher tonight for Anaheim. He's just waiting for Santiago to get back in there. They're not bothering to hold Bonds on with an 8-run lead. 0-2 sidearm breaking ball in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Angels were down 6-0. They fought back. They got it down to 6-4, but then the Giants, 2 in the 6th, and a big 4 here in the 7th. The 1-2 pitch is low and outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Angels will return home tomorrow, and both teams have the day off. Or the Angels will return home tonight, I should say. Both teams have the day off tomorrow. 2-2 pitch, low and away, ball 3. Meaning that neither team will work out. Of course, it's an off day on the schedule.
This will be the 3rd time in the 5 games in this World Series that the winning team scored double figures in runs at a high-scoring World Series.
The 3-2 to Santiago is grounded to shortstop. Eckstein will go to first base with it and get him. But the Giants get 4 more runs. On 4 hits. No Angel errors, 1 man left. We head to the 8th. It's San Francisco 12, the Angels 4. Adam Kennedy leads off the 8th inning against Worrell. Kennedy, then Benji Molina, then the pitcher's spot for the Angels. The Giants have scored 6 runs in the last 2 innings, as they did in the first 2 innings. There's a pitch down low to Kennedy, ball 1. So the Angels actually shut the Giants out in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings, but it's what has happened in between. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Kennedy. He takes inside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Kennedy tonight, a ground out, a strikeout, a fly out. 0 for 3. And the 2-0 to him is up high, ball 3. Worrell into his 2nd inning of work. Takes a walk behind the mound, a little bit miffed at himself for falling behind 3-0 after just being given an 8-run lead. You would think Chad Zerbe would be the one to be the winning pitcher. He's pitcher of record right now, as Jason Schmidt didn't last 5 innings. He went 4 2/3, even though they staked him to a 6-0 lead. Washburn's on the hook for the loss. 3-1 to Kennedy. The 3-1 is in there, strike 2. 3-2. You look at statistics, you think, boy, it might be tough for the Angels to win this World Series if Washburn, their ace, goes 0-2. 3-2 pitch, Kennedy fouls it away.
Well, if in fact the Angels lose, and that's looking more and more like it's going to happen here in tonight's game, when you go to a Game 6 in the World Series, the team that has a 3-2 lead generally loses the Game 6, so that works in the Angels' favor. But the problem is when the series stretches into a 7th game, then the team that wins Game 6 normally loses Game 7.
Ground ball down to first base. J.T. Snow runs to the bag for the out. I assume you have some sort of statistical backup for your Benji Molina up there. He takes a strike. Russ Ortiz will pitch Game 6 for the Giants. Kevin Apier for the Angels. Here's the pitch to Molina. It's fouled back out of play. Sean Wooten's on deck. He moved into the pitcher's spot on that double switch. No balls, 2 strikes to Benji Molina. He's 4 for 15 in the series. That figures out to 267. One out, nobody on base. The Angels trailing it 12-4. Here's the 0-2 to Benji. Line drive into right field, but it's hanging up. Shinjo makes the catch. Two down. 12 runs is the most the Giants have scored in a World Series game since Game 3 of the 1921 World Series, when they won 13-5 at the Polo Grounds. Sean Wooten getting his first at-bat of the night. Second of the series. He swings and fouls it back. He's 0 for 1 in the series.
First, way back then, they were the New York Giants. New York Giants beat the New York Yankees in that World Series 5-3. That's when you had to win 5 games to be World Series champs.
Here's the 0-1 to Wooten. That's low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 out, nobody on here in the top of the 8th inning. 12-4 Giants. The Giants delighting the home crowd tonight. Wooten grounds one back up the middle, and Sean has a World Series base hit. Single into center field for Sean Wooten. For the Angels, that puts them in double figures in the hit column with 10. And David Eckstein stepping in. Eckstein's had a good night. He has 2 singles and a walk. He also has an RBI ground out. He has scored a run tonight. 42,713 here this evening. And the pitch to Eckstein outside and low, ball 1. Wooten at first base with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Giants 12, Angels 4. Eckstein takes a strike.
Well, when we get back to Anaheim, Rory, we're going to need all 44,000 plus at Edison Field on Saturday to wear the red and to be noisy, because the Angels are going to need some support.
I think they'll do it without us telling them.
Yep.
The Angels will be happy to be back home. Pitch down low to Eckstein, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kevin Apier's had a long career, and I think he's waited his whole life for a situation like Saturday.
And as long as that career has been, Saturday will be without question the biggest start in his career.
2 balls, 1 strike to Eckstein. Pitch on the way by Worrell. It's fouled back. Coming over is Santiago, and he couldn't quite get it. Ball's out of reach, out of play. And the count 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Angels down by 8 here in the 8th. Eckstein waiting. Worrell working on him. Erstad would be next if Eckstein keeps the inning going. Here he comes, 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Angel batters have struck out 10 times tonight. That's very un-Angel-like. No runs, a hit, and a man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. San Francisco 12. Pedro Feliz is going to get an at-bat here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Scott Shields' first pitch to him is outside, ball 1. So Feliz hitting in the spot where Worrell was. Leads off the 8th. The pitch is outside. Jose Molina has gone in to catch for the Angels, and Alex Ochoa has gone into the game in right field for the Angels. 2-0 to Feliz from Shields, fouled back. 2-1.
Looks like Scott Air will be the pitcher the Giants will go with when we get to the 9th inning, the left-hander.
2 balls, 1 strike to Feliz. Shields winds and delivers 2-1, and it's swung on and missed. This is the first at-bat of the series for Feliz. He hit .253 this year with a couple of home runs. Now the 2-2 pitch on the way from Shields. A high pop fly into shallow right. Coming in is Ochoa. Alex underneath it, and he makes the catch. Let's pause 10 seconds for our stations to identify themselves. This is the Anaheim Angels Baseball Network.
The Anaheim Angels on Talk Radio AM570 KLAC Los Angeles. Home of Dr. Dean Adele, weekdays from 3 to 4 p.m.
1 out, nobody on. JT Snow at the plate for San Francisco. The pitch by Shields up high for a ball, 1-0. Snow had a single and scored a run last time up. He takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Giants with 13 base hits in the ball game. The Angels have 10, but the Angels way behind tonight, trailing 12-4. Snow takes outside, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kevin Apier against Russ Ortiz Saturday, 5 o'clock at Edison Field. Here's the 2-1 pitch, a hard hit ball foul, first base side. Snow a little bit out in front of that one. The count goes 2-2. Shields not pitching too badly for somebody who hasn't pitched in almost a month, although he did give up the home run to the red-hot Jeff Kent, who has hit 2 tonight. Two balls and 2 strikes. There's a fastball up high, 3-2. David Bell will be next for the Giants. Shields winds, the 3-2 delivery is lined into right field. JT Snow has another hit. Having a good series against his former team. And now David Bell, who has gotten on base 3 different ways. He's walked, he has singled, and he's been hit by a pitch tonight. 1 for 2 officially. Hitting .313 in the postseason, 5 for 15, .333 in the series. Shields delivers, Bell takes, and it's a strike, 0-1. One out, 1 on, bottom of the 8th inning. 12-4, San Francisco. Shields delivers, fastball up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. After the 9th inning is concluded, the Giants will be 1 win away from a world championship. The Angels will be 2 wins away. Unless the Angels score a minimum of 8 in the 9th inning. There's a breaking ball in there for a strike. Of course, they've had a couple of 8-run innings in the postseason, and even 1 10-run inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Shields is set, the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball foul, third base side.
Mentioned the pitching matchup for Game 6, Apier against Ortiz. Russ Ortiz was knocked around, failing to survive the 2nd inning of his first World Series start against the Angels in Game 2. Dusty Baker was talking about him earlier today and said that he feels that Russ is very grounded. He's a secure young man, and he's our calm leader on the team. Very even keel guy, so Dusty Baker didn't figure that he would be rattled by that bad outing in Game 2.
There's a ground ball foul. There has not been in this World Series what you would consider a great start by a pitcher.
Nothing close to that.
No.
About the closest would have been Reeder last night.
Right, and he fell behind 3-0.
Right.
One ball, 2 strikes to David Bell. Shields ready, the 1-2 pitch once again. Slider outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Problem for the Angels in this World Series, they're just not getting enough innings out of their starters. The longest start by an Angel was in Game 1 when Washburn went 5 2/3 innings. No one has gone more than that in a starting role in the World Series for the Angels.
There's a drive hit right back up the middle by Bell. A 1-out single. And the hit parade for the Giants has reached 15. That'll bring up Shinjo. He had a sacrifice bunt his last time up. 0 for 1. Shinjo struck out in the 6th inning. 2 on with 1 out. Shields is ready and delivers, and Shinjo looks at a strike. Breaking ball to start him off with, 0-1. If Shinjo does not hit into a double play, when Lofton comes up, it'll be his 6th plate appearance tonight in 8 innings. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Shinjo might hit into a double play, except it goes right under Gloss's glove. Coming around trying to score is Snow. The throw to the plate, he's safe. Shinjo hit a double play ball, and Gloss waved at it on the way by. It's now 13-4 Giants. The Angels can only hope they're getting everything bad out of their system tonight. Bud Black's going to jog out and talk to Scott Shields. Anderson made a fairly strong throw to the plate, but was not able to get Snow. They ruled that an error, didn't they?
Yep, I believe they did. Well, as hot as the Angels' bats were after the first 3 games of this World Series, just the opposite now. The Giants' bats have really started to heat up.
Still only 1 out here in the 8th inning. The Giants scored 2 in the 6th, 4 in the 7th. They have 1 in the 8th with men at first and second and 1 out. And Kenny Lofton at the plate. Shields' pitch to him is high, ball 1. Lofton a single, a ground out, another ground out, and then a 2-run triple. So he's 3 for 5 as he stands in there. There's another high fastball, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Lofton. Well, the Giant fans might get their wish here in this inning and get Bonds up to the plate again the way it's going. The 2-0 pitch to Lofton. Ground ball to the right side. Kennedy makes a sliding stop. He'll get Lofton at first base. The runners move up to second and third, and with 2 outs, that'll bring up Rich Aurelia. Aurelia singled in the 6th inning. That's been his only hit, but he's hit the ball hard a few times tonight. First 2 times up, Erstad robbed him of hits. But he's only 1 for 5. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, Rich Aurelia standing in. Hitting .288 in the postseason, 7 for 23 in the series. Shields pitch is hit in the air into left field. Garrett Anderson with his back to the wall. It's a 3-run home run. San Francisco 16, the Angels 4 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Another Giants home run. And as I mentioned a moment ago, the Angels can only hope that everything bad is getting out of their system right now. Here's Jeff Kent. He's homered twice tonight, and he takes a strike, 0-1. 16-4, San Francisco. 16 runs and 16 hits. There's a fastball low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jeff Kent.
All these runs in this inning are unearned against Shields because of the error by Gloss, but they're still on the board.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's the line drive down the left field line. Garrett Anderson moves over. He makes the catch. But the Giants get another 4. Back-to-back 4-run innings. 4 runs on 3 hits. 1 error. Nobody left. We head to the 9th, mercifully for the Angels. The Angels would just as soon forget about this game as we go to the 9th inning, 16-4 Giants. Darren Erstad will lead off against Scott Air. Tom Goodwin's in the game in right field. Shinjo moves over to center. Lofton comes out. Erstad takes a strike. Darren's 1 for 3. He has a sacrifice fly that scored a run as well. All of the runs for the Giants in that inning, the 4 they put up in the 8th, are all unearned runs. Here's the pitch to Erstad. That's in there, strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Well, it'll be a new game come Saturday, Game 6 of the World Series. Kevin Apier will pitch for the Angels. And the kid from Lancaster will be opposed by Russ Ortiz, who is from the San Fernando Valley. Born in Encino. No balls, 2 strikes to Darren Erstad. A long night for the Angels. The pitch by Scott Air. Erstad checked his swing. Did he? No, he's out. They appeal it down at third base. And Angel Hernandez said strike 3.
Oh, yeah, that's the 11th strikeout against the Angels tonight. Very uncharacteristic of this club. Angels have not had many games like this all season long. The times that they've had lopsided games, they've usually been on the winning side of lopsided scores.
I really think the Angels will welcome a day off tomorrow, don't you?
Sure do.
Alex Ochoa at the plate. Air delivers, and it's line foul. That will give the Angels an opportunity to shake this game off even a little bit better.
Well, a lot of times, Rory, we've seen it so many times in baseball. You have a team put up runs and hits like the Giants are doing tonight, then the next time out they can't buy a run or hit, so maybe that's how it'll play out Saturday.
The Giants have scored 10 runs in the last 3 innings. Ochoa takes outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Gotta wonder how many teams have scored 16 runs, though, in one World Series game. That's a lot of runs.
Here's the 1-1 to Ochoa. It's a fly ball into right field. So Goodwin will get a chance, and he puts it away. With 2 outs in the 9th, here's Garrett Anderson. They've been talking a lot about the ratings being down in the East. Well, it's 12-16 at night in the East. Garrett Anderson at the plate, 1 for 4 tonight. Scott Air sets and delivers. Garrett grounds the ball to second, and that ought to do it. That will do it. The ball game is over, and the San Francisco Giants emphatically win Game 5 of the World Series 16-4.